Brett Luthner, Andrew Shapiro, Sean Broderick, welcome to Game 2 of the ACHA National Championship semifinal number 2 here today. It'll be between Liberty University, the number 1 seed out of the Southeast, and Miami of Ohio, the number 3 seed out of the Southeast. They will get together in this one. A matchup, both teams getting here through overtime in their previous games. Both won 5-4. Miami over Boston University, and, of course, Liberty 5-4 over William Patterson, both games on this rink. And I'll bring my partners in. First, Andrew Shapiro, real quickly. These two teams, hard road to get here.
Absolutely. Liberty coming in at a perfect 3-0, but it's not an easy 3-0. They defeat the Arizona State Maroons Sun Devils 4-2, and then they win by the same score over number 3 Lindenwood, and they have to go to overtime to beat William Patterson. And Miami coming in, they needed a win and help on day 3, which they got their win, and that eliminated Belleville, who then beat Utah, which punched their ticket to the semifinals today.
Sean Broderick comes in on this one. It's a situation both teams playing at a high level of play, and it should carry over into this game.
It definitely should. You're talking about two teams that are coming off of big overtime victories. That's going to get them both very much amped up for this one. This is going to be a good, hard-hitting game back and forth for both of these teams, I think.
First interview up in this one of the two is with Liberty head coach Chris Lowe's. Dave Kurtz caught up with him before the game.
I'm here with the head coach of Liberty University, Chris Lowe's. And Chris, congratulations on making the semis.
Thanks, Dave.
So looking ahead now, you take on Miami, another Southeast team that you guys haven't played this year yet, but you know a lot about. And talk to me about what your guys' thoughts are going into the game.
It's just that time of the year where it's going to come down to a couple mistakes, a couple bounces, and guys just got to be mentally strong. And I think especially being in the game, so guys just focusing on not missing assignments, no mental lapses.
Overtime and kind of every
time I would have 10 minutes would have done it. That was then we were out, so had 20 minutes better about our chances.
Today you're going to start a little bit about this freshman.
A lot of success. Like this matter, and that might awesome. Thanks, Dave.
It over before.
Talk to us a little bit about took on Boston University, and it went into overtime, all sorts of permutations whatsoever. You guys get that goal, and then you got to sit and wait.
Yeah, it was a tough game yesterday. It tested the guys, tested their mental, everything, physical. It was hard. Wait. Didn't really want them to. I'm glad that Lindenwood played and came out to get us through to the next round.
Number 1 team, so
it would be good to jump out to a good start, but I think we can't come out with the mindset of we have to win the game in the first period. It's going to be easy to come out against a team like this and think that we have to try to score 5 goals and really put them away early. We just need to stick to our game plan, stick to what we've been doing all year, stick to what we game plan for against Liberty, and not try to rush things and not try to get out of control and off of our game. We just stick to what we've been doing that's had success throughout the tournament and continue to push that way and not really try to, win it in the first period, like I said.
All right, 4 games in 4 days is always tough, and no one makes it through unscathed. How's your team doing injury-wise?
We're holding up. We're fine. We got a lot of guys, nicks, bruises, things that you see normal through a game, but, other than that, no real big injuries, so we should be good, get ready to go.
All right, Coach, well, good luck, and we'll talk to you during the game.
Perfect. Thank you. Yep.
There's the coach. There's thoughts of both coaches there. Quick look at the goaltending matchup first. Sean looking at Taylor Lay for Miami of Ohio.
Brett, this is a guy that has been the backbone of this Miami Redhawks team. He's had over 1,200 minutes. That's including his the first 3 games in this tournament. He's 16-1, 1.73 GAA. He's carried this team to this point, shutting out Lindenwood Belleville in day number 2. This is a guy that this team has relied on is going to rely on them again today.
Blair Bennett got the start yesterday for Liberty. Not the case today, Andrew.
Absolutely. Blake Scott, the freshman, will be starting the semifinal game for the Liberty Flames. He comes in 1-0 with only 1 goal allowed, stopping 35 out of 36 shots in their win over Lindenwood.
It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Both teams needed overtime, as we said, to get to this point as they get ready for the starting lineups out here. This is something, again, having played overtime, high-impact games, both of you, real quickly, does that have an impact here on this afternoon's game?
Absolutely. Both these teams are tired, both coming off of overtime games. Miami definitely the tougher road, having to beat the top team in the tournament by most standards, Lindenwood Belleville. Liberty coming in off a long-fought overtime game against William Patterson University.
Sean.
It's simply put, these guys have given it their all already to get to this point, and they got to give up whatever is left in that tank. And I said it yesterday between Grand Valley and NYU. You got anything left in the tank, you got to expend it right now, and then refuel it a little bit tomorrow, and then, there you have it. But first, it's this game right now.
This is going to be a tremendous game. Both teams very deserving to be here, having to go that extra mile against quality opponents to get into this matchup. Liberty, the number 1 seed out of the Southeast. Miami, the number 3 seed out of the Southeast. We know we're going to have a Southeast champion this year, boys. We're going to find out who's going to take on the Florida Gulf Coast, who is making their 3rd consecutive trip and 4th trip in the last 5 years to the national championship game. We got the national anthem before we come back and throw it over to the broadcast crew. The national anthem complete. First meeting of the season between these two. We throw it over to our play-by-play crew. Matt Coma, Rasty McGibbon. Boys, take it away.
All right, thanks, boys. Matt Coma, Rasty McGibbon getting ready for our second semifinal between Miami and Liberty. It's sure to be a great contest between these two Southeast region teams, Rasty.
And really both teams that I have not seen play either in this tournament or this year. And, one thing is this weekend is a huge tribute to former Commissioner Mike Radakovich, and it is that regional playoff that has allowed a number 9th ranked team as Miami to get into this national tournament, and the pool play that has allowed them to punch their ticket for semifinal play today. And Liberty, the number 1 of the Southeast, and University of Miami, the number 3. And we are getting ready to, as we said, teams punch their ticket for the train uptown to play tomorrow.
Winner
in the national championship.
Winner
Yes, and
takes
you are
on
right.
Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow afternoon. The first meeting of the season between Liberty and Miami underway here in semifinal number 2. Liberty moving right to left in the white uniforms in this semifinal. They're taking on Miami in the red uniforms that move left to right as our opening period is underway. Liberty able to keep it in the zone here early as the pack over on the far side. We get our first whistle just 21 seconds in.
And, for University of Miami, they have really, except for one game, been the underdog in this tournament. And so they always feel like they're fighting an uphill battle, and they have risen to the occasion as they have fought their way out of pool play and punched their ticket and told the bus to stick around at least for another day. We are not heading home yet. For Liberty, they had a overtime game yesterday, a lot of overtime games that we will talk about as this broadcast wears on, and very emotionally filled game where they were able to pot one about 1:45 into overtime yesterday.
Miami with good offensive pressure here. About a minute gone in the first period as the puck comes up the near side. Kazmierzak will get it to the blue line before it's kept in by Lehigh for the Redhawks. Redhawks champions of Pool D, beating out the Lynx, the Utes, and the Terriers to get to this semifinal. Only team with a loss of the four teams here in the semifinals as well. As a shot from the point, on the far side by Berger, went steered wide of the goaltender for the Flames. Blake Scott gets his second start of the weekend. Currently 1-0 on the weekend as well for him, as we have a 4-on-1 battle back in the Miami end, excuse me. As Drummeller has lost a footing at his red line, but he was able to send it all the way back in. Now a one-on-one battle down low. Digging after it is Ryan Kerr for the Liberty Flames. Digging it out, Lehigh able to chip it over the far side. Berger helps it along, but it's through the feet of Matt Walsh. Back into the bottom of the zone. Miami will try again to the near side. Lehigh now passes one up to the far side. Matt Walsh back over to the near side. Just tapped along by number 14 on your programs, Robert Norton. As Liberty now in control. We're 2 minutes gone. Here's still no score between Liberty and Miami.
And the thing I think for both teams is going to be key. We've seen a lot in this tournament, teams really being hesitant and looking for that perfect shot. And sometimes you just got to throw it at the net and hope the stars are aligned and the puck will grow eyes and you get on the scoreboard. And that would be my advice to the team in red and white and the team in white and red. As 2.5 minutes gone in this first period and not a shot on goal thus far, as both teams looking a little tentative.
Puck back behind the Miami cage as a Flame gets tripped up on that far side. Now the Flames will try to go to work here. Puck takes a deflection off the skate back out to neutral ice. Here come the Redhawks as shipping it into the zone. Number 15, Mark Azarian sends one out. Send one across as Spicola looks for a pass in front. The net dislodged. And we get a stoppage play with 17-12 left here in the first period.
We are going to have a face-off inside the Liberty zone, I believe, to the blocker side of the goaltender. Still one shot has been credited to the Miami Redhawks. Face-off is going to come now.
As the Redhawks go to work here, Andrew Dower on the far side rings it around the near side. Flames able to cut that one off. Is over on that far side is Huntington. Plays it to the far side. Dockstetter had it for a moment. Now able to chip it along. Now Paul Inglis. Near side now trying to toe drag was Freeman. As he fires a shot, Taylor Lay makes his first save, and he'll cover that puck up. As Lay makes a good save for the Redhawks to keep it scoreless.
And one thing with Liberty, and we've talked about, let the puck do the work for you, make America great again, and just let that puck get down in there and chase it hard. And really, in terms of intensity, I would say both teams are fairly even. I would have really kind of expected a little more jump out of both teams and pressuring early. A lot of ice in that neutral ice area as teams are kind of coming through unobstructed, and gaining the zone is not as much trouble as we did see in our first game.
Miami pressing the issue back into Liberty end. Up the near side boards trying to chip it ahead as Roulette now to Kerr over the far side off the stick of Drummeller. Able to try and breathe it through the Miami defense. Good poke check, though, from the Redhawks. Plays it to the corner. Berger tied up with Kerr down low. Now comes to Whitney. Stolen away by the Flames. Sends it in front. Lay able to get a glove on it.
Excellent job by Lay there, laying right out on his stomach and getting that left glove hand outstretched and covering the puck up here with 16-18 left to go in the first period.
Taylor Lay will be goaltender of choice for Miami. He's started all three games for the Redhawks in pool play. He's 2-1 on the weekend, 16-1 on the season. It's been a mainstay in that.
Shabby.
Absolutely. Flames looking to try and get the first offensive chance of the game as it comes to the top of the point sitting. Across the ice, walking in, a wrist shot just wide of the frame. Now it's back behind the net for the Liberty Flames. Tied up back behind was Norton. Now top of the point, Sinnen will ring it around. Back behind the net, sitting, waiting patiently is Kazmierzak. He'll backhand it ahead as the Flames set up in the offensive zone.
One thing you are seeing by the Red Hawks are very active on that puck carrier and not a lot of time for decisions and not many open passing lanes as they are playing strong defensively in their own zone, and Liberty has been credited with 2 shots thus far in this contest.
Just 2-1 the shot count here early, almost 5 minutes gone as the puck goes end over end into the Liberty zone. Going back now for the Flames. Sinnen pass to the near side. Poke checked away. A good opportunity, but a pass stolen away by number 15. That's Adam Gnatowski. Back in to the Miami zone. Trying to fire off a shot was Freeman. Another try from the top of the point, and that one sailed wide as it took a deflection. There's a couple of good passes in the Liberty zone. Trying to set up the cycle once more. Now down low is Freeman. Had to just play to the near side. Is Miami now in control? Is a shot, turnover, and an easy glove save. This time from Taylor Lay with 14:55 to go. Liberty up in the pressure here early.
And I'll tell you, just like we say, the only dumb question is the one that's never answered. The play that's never dumb is to put the puck on the net. And now Liberty able to change 3 fresh bodies, their whole forward lineup, as they send out the line that's centered by Garland. And they are going to face off to the blocker side of Miami.
Garland against Spicola for this face-off. It's won by the Redhawks, back to Berger. Brings it up the far side, picked up by Azarian. Looks for a center pass. It is a hand pass, though. And we'll get a stoppage play with 14:47 to go.
And both teams, as I said, seem a little tentative here early on. Shots are only 3-1. And teams, really since having not met, and I don't know if they've had the opportunity to watch each other here on this national championship weekend, a little bit tentative. And definitely there has to be some respect by Liberty coming into this contest as Miami has done very well through the 3 days of pool play, and that's why they are here today.
A very defensively minded Miami Redhawk team. The lone shutout of the weekend belongs to this Redhawk squad. Able to shut out the Lindenwood Belleville Lynx as a shot from the point, takes a redirection. But a good save from Blake Scott, his first true test here this afternoon.
Blake Scott, a big goaltender, and when he gets down in that butterfly position, those leg pads do not give you much low to see, and definitely not much of the skirting in the back of the net, which is where Miami is trying to get that puck to call home. 14:24 left to go in the first period. Rasty give it Matt Coma here high in the Veterans of Foreign Wars Memorial Gondola, and we got a dandy here.
Kazmierzak sends it up out of play in his own zone. We'll have another face-off on that far circle.
So far, a little bit of a defensive battle as both teams seem a little, I'll use the word cautious to pull the trigger on offense here.
So we mentioned the low shot count as we see another puck get deflected up out of play. Only 5 shots recorded total between these two teams. We're just over halfway, almost halfway through this first period.
And as I talked about, a lot of respect, I'm sure, from both sides. Miami as the number 9 out of the region, number 3 in the pool, and Liberty the number 1 that has made it through all 3 days of pool play. But, one is you're coming in the number 1 or 2 seed, you definitely have had a lot of time off, and so the Blades are a little rusty as you have not had really much competitive play for a while.
As Taylor Lay makes a save here. Interesting question. It's the number 1 and 3 teams out of the Southeast here, but they didn't play each other through the entire season. The teams kind of looking at each other through scoreboard watching and stuff like that. Do you think that plays into a factor here?
I would hope not, and I think in terms of Miami, it's really more of a coincidence than anything that they happen to be playing someone from their own region. And again, because Liberty was the number 1 and really got a bye through regional play, Miami would not have seen them.
Miami, of course, had to beat Virginia Tech and Ohio here just to get here to Westchester. They were the top seed in the Southeast Regional Tournament. Flames looking for some offensive prowess here as the puck is stolen away by the Redhawks. Moving forward now is number 26, Benjamin Romanski. Looking for a pass here on the near side. Had Rispoli for a moment, but the pass just a little too far ahead. This one will go all the way down towards the other end. Icing is the call on Liberty here with 13:24 left on the clock.
And really, again, as I've said twice so far in this period, and I don't hesitate to say it again, both teams are just going to have to turn up the dial a couple notches on the willingness, and I know the coaches would give them the green light to just get some pucks on net, get them in about a foot off the ice, some juicy rebounds off those monstrous leg pads.
As we saw a great chance there for the Redhawks. Net of Scott a little bit dislodged. Referee will let this play on as Natowski plays the pass quickly ahead to the near side. Freeman looking to try and come towards the front of the net. It was stolen away, though, by number 23, Wesley Gunther in the program. Normally wears the number 8 for the Redhawks. It's a good chance for the Flames is denied by Taylor Lay. As Gunther up the far glass. Catches the Flames in the middle of a change. Is unfortunately unable to hold on to it for long. Was number 14, Norton. And sends it back into the Miami zone. Back out to center ice. Sending it in all the way back into the zone is Huntington for Liberty. Now Miami will look to break the puck out. They find a pass on that far side to number 27, Walsh. Center pass for Lehigh, but the Redhawks offside as we get a salvage of play. 12:28 to go.
Shots are 4-2 in favor of Liberty. Both teams still, I think, in kind of a phase, almost like a first date, where you're trying to just kind of see what the other side is all about. I think speed-wise so far, I would say that teams are pretty evenly matched. Miami looks to be a fairly strong defensive team, but we know from the games yesterday, Liberty definitely has the ability to put the puck in the net and when they need it, as they played from behind for a large portion of that game yesterday against William Patterson.
As you see a turnover there as two Flames collided at the blue line. Now a shot from Berger denied by Sidden as it settles behind the net. Off the top of the glass, stays in play. Now a 3-on-2 battle ensues behind Scott's cage. Berger looking to move up the far side, being harassed by Sidden. As getting a stick on it, Spikola. It'll come here to the near side. Garland and number 15, Azarian, will go after it. As a backhanded pass takes a deflection back out to neutral ice. Berger will send it in. Redhawks will change.
And one thing I've said that's important for these teams, when you get the puck in your own zone, you need to take a couple strides in the other direction and get going. And we are going to get another offsides call here with 11:32 left to go in the first period. If you are joining us, this is Liberty versus Miami of Ohio in a 0-0 match. Both teams seem to be pretty even. Not a lot of scoring opportunities. The unofficial shot clock is reading 4-3 in favor of shots for Liberty. But both teams seem a little tentative.
As this puck goes out of play, this will come back outside the zone out to neutral ice. Both these teams needed overtime to get into this championship 4 segment that we are here in this national tournament. 5-4 overtime victories for both these teams yesterday.
And a little bit more interesting for Miami, for Liberty, it was a winner take all, but actually the way that the tie breakers work, had William Patterson tied them at the conclusion of that 10-minute overtime, that would have actually favored William Patterson. So Liberty needed to win. They could not tie, and it took them only about 2 minutes to decide in their minds that, you know what, I think I want to play tomorrow, so let's just get her done.
Same goes for the Redhawks. They needed help to get to this semifinal. They needed a win. They got the overtime win against Boston in the final minute of overtime.
And that was probably one of the oddest goals of our tournament, and the broadcast crew is still talking about that one today, and after watching it several times, we do not know if Miami had a little help from the other team in getting that one.
Shot from the point, takes a deflection into the slot. It's gathered, though, by Baker as he sends another one on that far side. That was Parizek on the opportunity. Fire that one just wide.
Starting to see a little bit of trouble with Liberty getting that puck out, and Miami is very happy just dumping it in, which is really the safest place if you're a Miami fan, is to have that puck in the Liberty defensive zone.
Getting to the halfway point of the first period is Dockstader sends one in front looking for Inglis, but his pass just a little off target. Comes back to center ice as Sidden will now dump it into the Miami zone. Flames will chase after it. Redhawks in control. Floated pass through the neutral zone just too far for number 19, Chad Olson, to corral. That's his first mention of the night. As Garland looks to try and get past a good check from Norton. Back out to center ice now. Here come the Flames. Over on the far side is Kerr. He'll send it in. Chasing after it now, the Flames. Getting to it first, though, are the Redhawks. Tapped up the far side. Walsh to the near side. Tried to float a pass ahead for Olson. Couldn't find him. Again, Liberty just dumping it in.
Well, yeah, you're actually starting to see Liberty dump it in a little bit, and I'll tell you, the proper name for that play is called dump and chase, and with only half of it, you're probably going to get less than half results. And so Liberty got to has got to activate the chasing part.
Yeah,
and
doesn't really work too well without the chasing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just the old dump. And the only time you hear the old dump is when you're going to change lines. And so 9:16 left to go. We should have a media timeout here very soon, and we're going to pay a few bills at that time.
Absolutely. We want to thank some sponsors that made this weekend possible.
We sure would.
Still making this weekend possible, as we still have one more game to go after this. Maybe the biggest one of all.
I tell you, if they make it, we'll take it, buddy. How about that?
Flames send one in front. It's stolen away by the Redhawks. Up the near side now is Olsen. He'll chip one in. And the Redhawks will chase after this one. Is going on that far side is Lehigh, battling over on that far side with Huntington.
And the intensity that we're seeing here by Miami in the Liberty zone is what you would want to see from Liberty in the Miami zone if you're a Liberty Flame fan. And if you're a Miami fan, then you've got to be happy because I think defensively, Miami has been the superior team. Liberty, a team with a pretty potent offense, of my understanding, has been limited to only 4 shots here in about 12 minutes of hockey.
Baker on the far side had it stolen away by Berger. It's still loose in that corner as Baker plays at the top of the point. And the defender Natowski was still in the middle of a change, though. As the Flames once again forced to dump it. No chase, though, still. They're still a little hesitant to go after it.
They are. And, not in any way to knock Miami. They do not seem to have that explosive speed that I've seen from other teams. And so, really, you can afford to send 2 4-checkers in. And, if I were Chris Lowe's, might be something to think about as this period goes on. We probably are going to have a media timeout now. And I send it over to Matt to pay some bills here.
All right. We want to thank everybody for watching the ACHA Division II National Championship here live from Westchester, Pennsylvania. We'd like to thank our first period sponsors, GreatSkate.com, Sherwood Hockey, and Harrow Sports, the official apparel provider of the ACHA. We'd also like to thank the Westchester Visitors Bureau, the Iceline Quad Rinks, App Hammer, and our broadcast partners from the University of Utah.
And I was just looking to see, do we have the Academic All-American
I
paper?
think Brett may have stolen it and taken it over to the other side.
Brett may have, but we will get Brett to comment on that.
We will mention those as well. As we had over 100 all-academic players in this tournament achieve a 3.2 grade point average or above, and it just goes to show that not only these guys getting it done on the ice, they're getting it done in the classroom.
They are getting her done. Somebody's going to need to get her done in the next 8 minutes and 3 seconds so that this does not go into the first intermission a goose egg for both.
We saw a 2-0 lead for Florida Gulf Coast through the first period in our first semifinal as they advanced with a 5-2 win over Grand Valley State. We're still scoreless here halfway through the first period.
And I'll be honest, the longer that teams play, a little tentative like this, it is only going to magnify the special team opportunities that are to come. And there may be only one, and there may be several, but special teams are going to be huge because that's where you're really going to see things open up.
Offside here on the Flames, just unable to keep it on the left side of the blue line there. That determining edge, always a factor there.
And it looks like both teams are going to change 5 new red sweaters coming out and 5 new white sweaters as the face-off is going to come on the far side just outside of that blue line. And Liberty wins it, and they are happy sending her down.
Roulette only reaches it to about the half boards before Miami brings it the other way. Now Olsen had it poked away from him by Drummel. Number 13, that's Brandon Drumheller, excuse me. Looking at my program upside down doesn't probably help.
That's called Heller Drum.
Heller Drum, excuse me.
7:08 left to go in the first period. I'm Brass to begin with Matt Coma, and it is a fantastic opportunity, and we are pleased to be able to bring this to you on what we call Ute Vision, and that was really pioneered last year by our buddies out at the University of Utah in Salt Lake as we brought you the national championship from a Western venue, and that means that we are able to offer this to you streaming live for free on YouTube.
And we thank all of you guys for watching. We had over 350 people watching our first semifinal this afternoon. Over 1,000 views on each of the games on demand as well. So we thank all of you guys for watching all weekend long and hope you stick around for tomorrow's championship game, which is going to be a great game.
It's going to be a beaut.
All Southeast matchup is we have 2 Southeast teams here. Of course, we mentioned 3 of the 4 Southeast teams are in this Final Four as here comes Olsen. Leaves the top of the circle, just tapped back down by Rispoli. Flames able to cut it off, ring it on the far boards. Berger keeps it just onside, right in front of that Liberty bench. As now here come the Flames. Kerr here on the near side. Sends one across the ice. Then it was a nice pass in front, but Lay with a great save. Liberty still on the attack. They'll fire a shot. That just goes wide.
And that is and I hate to call it reckless abandonment, that is the kind of green light that you see. And we are going to see our first penalty now as the Liberty goaltender takes off. It's probably going to be a cross check here at 6:01. And I'll tell you, just a little small injection of momentum there in the Liberty Flames lineup as they were able to get a pretty nice shot and probably one of the nicest scoring opportunities for Liberty as they have been limited this period. Now they are going to go with the man advantage. And we talked about there probably are not going to be a lot of man advantages unless things really get blown wide open by the end of the game and it's just out of frustration. And I'll tell you, for Liberty, this is the opportunity, I think, of the two teams. Miami would be much more pleased with their play during this, a more defensive club than Liberty. But Liberty, this is the opportunity for them to get on the scoreboard, and I think my advice to them would just be shoot the puck.
So the penalty goes to Miami. It's a checking from behind call to Jimmy Berger. First power play of the afternoon belongs to the Flames as they weave around the zone. Trying to go for Kerr on a drop pass was number 21 for the Flames, Jordan Bardstead.
And I just counted there. That was 7 passes and no shots. And in my opinion, I think that's too much. I think that's too fancy. And I know that this is probably one of the most practiced things that this team has is your power play unit. And they have to have been successful to be the number 1 in the Southeast. But here at this level, you just got to shoot the puck. You got to shoot the puck with bodies in front and hope for something juicy off those leg pads of Lay.
1:15 left in the power play as the Flames breaking out of their own zone. Freeman with time. Skates it ahead. Dant is one man. Now has a free run to the front of the net. Wrist shot at one. May have got a piece of that far post. Power play now set up for the Flames as it comes to the top of the point. Dockstetter over the near side. Ingles will leave it back for Dockstetter. As he walks in, now back behind the net. Looks for the wraparound try. Sealed off by Lay, though. Over here on the near side, Gossett to the top of the point. Ingles over the far side. Gets it back now top of the point. Thought about a shot, instead gives it to Dockstetter. Quick pass in front. A shot blocked by the Redhawks. Still loose there. Finally comes behind the net to Dockstetter. Comes top of the point. Ingles with a one-time shot. Goes wide on the far post. Seeing more shots from the Flames as Ingles will try again. This time, Lay turns that one aside. 1-on-2, 3-on-1 now for Liberties. They are able to dig it out. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Ingles to the near side. Sends one across. Quick touch pass. Back to Ingles. Back to Dockstetter. Now back to the center. A shot by Bierma went just wide. And the Redhawks, they are free of the power play. They'll send it down the ice. And Scott will earn the whistle for the Flames. Good shot opportunities for Liberty there, but no goals.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the shot clock shows 7-on-3, which shows that Liberty only got 2 shots in that power play, and I would pretty strongly disagree with that. Not very good execution in the first half, but really I think they seem to kind of warm up to the idea through the second half of that power play opportunity to shoot the puck. And goaltender Lay for Miami was good, and they did an excellent job of killing that one off. 3:44 left to go in the first period. I think if you look at what both teams have come in with for Miami, they are going to be pretty satisfied to get out of this period in a tied scenario if things were to continue 0-0. I think Liberty would probably have a little bit of frustration as they are such a high-powered offensive team, and they definitely have guys that know the way from the stick to the back of the net. And so as we're seeing, Liberty now looking a little less tentative on shooting the puck.
Starting to ramp up on the shot count. We finally have reached double digits in total for the shot count so far, 8-3 in favor of the Flames.
I think we got double digits a little time ago, but yeah.
Yes. 7-3 was when that power play ended, when we finally hit the 10 mark as the puck bounces its way back out to center ice. Now here's Spicola, leading scorer for the Redhawks in the regular season. Had it poked away from him. Now back and forth, back to the Flames now. Huntington, pressured by the Redhawks, gives it to Shannon, just tapped along by Kerr. This is still icing, though, as we get a stoppage of play for icing with 3:01 left here. Still no score between Liberty and Miami here in our second semifinal.
Yeah, I'm going to send a quick shout-out to a good buddy of mine, Dave Semenina, that is there at the Home Hardware in Red Deer and Lawn and Garden, and I know the snow is going to be leaving soon, and they're going to be jumping. So, Dave, get that mulch in, and you will will be jumping there before you know it, my good friend. 3:01 left to go in the first period. Rastamy giving Matt Coma, and Liberty just after having a man advantage and unable to capitalize on that.
As Miami with a good answer there. A shot here on the near side by Lehigh. Snagged in the glove hand of Scott.
2:51 left to go in the first period. Shots show 8-4. And I think it probably may be a little bit more lopsided than that one. As
we get a turnover. Here's an opportunity for the Flames. A good poke check, though, at the blue line from Berger. Denies that opportunity, but the Flames right back at it. Here's Freeman on the near side. A wrist shot is saved by Lay. Lehigh battles here on the near side with Freeman, able to chip it ahead. Almost, it is a turnover as they went through a couple of bodies to get to the top of the slot.
And you're starting to see things open up a little bit, and I think the players are starting to realize that the green light is on in terms of shooting the puck, and neutral ice is also opening up a little bit as teams are running and gunning a little bit.
Miami settles it down. Berger passes to the near side. Lehigh will float it to the far corner. Racing back is Roulette. As he chips up the far boards, he does get outside to neutral ice. Is coming in to make a change was Frenzel as he couldn't get to the blue line in time. Forced to just play it back into Liberty end as Roulette now controls. Able to dodge the stick check of Whitney as he hits one off the glass. It's kept in, though, by the Red Hawks.
And one thing that the Red Hawks have done very well, and you see 4 guys stacked along that far boards with a tremendous amount of puck support and making it just hard for Liberty to get it out. And, sometimes you just got to chip it and let the chips fall as it may out in that neutral ice area. And Liberty so far really trying to get a perfect outlet pass and unwilling to really dive into that dump and chase hockey that we've talked about. But I think as you wear on, they are going to find out that is going to be a successful strategy against this heavily defensive Red Hawks team.
Puck bouncing all the way back towards the Miami end. Getting to there first is Bacher's a big collision between Olsen and Bacher on that far side. Both players able to get back up on their own powers. We're down to the final minute. Short angle shot saved by Scott. As there was an opportunity for Rispola to kind of put one in. Or excuse me, Walsh for Miami. Top of the point near side, backhanded in.
And Liberty now really just needs to kill this clock off and regroup as Miami kind of all over them here for the last minute and a half or so. And having some disorganization in their own end and just trouble getting it out. And yeah, he almost, and he was able to chip that one up high and out to neutral ice, which is never a bad play.
And this one, Miami's offside. Unfortunately, Walsh unable to keep it onside with 23.6 to go. So a quick moving first period here. Not a whole lot of offensive chances on either side. Maybe a little tentativeness on either side with this being a crucial semifinal game. But team's starting to open up a little bit more, though.
Well, and you know what? For a lot of these guys, this is probably the most important game that they have played in their whole collegiate career. A lot of guys, as we were walking there in the front part of this rink, and we'll talk about it in just a minute, Grand Valley getting on the bus and some long faces there.
So we saw 12 other teams with long faces yesterday. We had a lot of teams with chances at the semifinals. Is a good shot from Spicola is denied by Scott in the final 10 seconds here. Good hit on that far side as well by number 12, Mason Schultz. And now Liberty with the last chance, but they can't pull the trigger in time. And that includes a very fast-moving first period, but no goals to show for it. We're tied at 0.
No goals to show for it, and I think if you're a Miami fan, you have to be very happy with the way they've held Liberty to only 9 shots in that first period, and defensively, I would say they played spectacular. Liberty having a lot of trouble getting the puck out of their own zone, and that has been something that looks a little bit problematic. We see David Kurtz down on the ice. He's going to go over to see if they have the opportunity to chat with Miami coach. And so, for Chris Lowe's, the Liberty coach, some tweaking to go on as we see him down speaking to the official there. And if we get the thumbs up from David Kurtz, we are going to send it over to him right now.
All right, here with the head coach of Miami, and Justin, first period, 0-0. Not a big offensive for either side, but you guys last couple minutes really started to turn it on there.
Yeah, we need to continue to push the pace on these guys. I think we're a much faster team than these guys. I think if we push the pace, make these guys skate, and take the body on these guys, I think we'll be fine. But right now we started out a little bit slow, but we need to start to pick it up and get back to our game.
Now, you talked about during the pregame interview about kind of not necessarily always looking for like the big jump, having to try to get a bunch of goals, but to be patient. At the end of this period, 0-0, and you started to everyone get in the game. Are you happy with where your team's at right now?
I like the way we finished the period. I think we started a little bit slow. I think we know we have another level to go to, and I think we're starting to realize that. I think maybe we started to kind of come out a little timid, the size of the game, maybe got a little bit to the guys. We got a little bit of a young team here, but I think our guys are starting to get more comfortable, start to settle in here, and I think you'll see kind of us start to push the pace and really start to take it to these guys, hopefully.
All right, well, good luck. We'll see you after the game.
Thank you.
All right. In the first period in our second semifinal game, 0-0, Liberty and Miami. Winner of this game will face FGCU. And shots on goal were 9-6, and we're going to send it back up to Matt and Rasty, and then we'll head over to our intermission crew. Guys?
I am just going to ask the intermission crew one point to talk about. Scoring has seemed to have been something that has been almost a little bit problematic for Miami here. If Liberty can score 3 or 4 goals, do you think that's something that Miami can match in this contest? But with that, we are going to take this opportunity, and we are going to send it across to those guys now.
Now.
Take it away, guys.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you're seeing a very hard defensive game being played by both of these teams. They don't want to give anybody an inch. It's gonna, it's really gonna come down to who's gonna try to break out that first guy first, and who's gonna catch the other being a little bit too aggressive. Right now, they're playing pretty conservatively. I think it's been a very hard fought first period with only a combined 15 shots between both teams.
Show off the mics, show off the mics, show off the mics.
Absolutely. I mean, it kind of settled in, as Rasty mentioned, it was almost like a first date where each team is kind of feeling each other out, trying to figure out where they're going to go from here, where they need to make adjustments. And I think you saw Miami kind of up the pressure a little bit. They got outplayed quickly, but they kind of jumped back. I mean, Liberty wound up with the edge and shots on goal, but you could see that it did turn into a bit of an evenly matched affair, with both sides kind of slugging it out. Miami is known more for their physical hockey, where they'll throw their bodies at you the whole time. Liberty known more for their agility, where they'll just kind of stretch the puck out, and they'll just make passes and get all the offense.
Phone's working now, and there we go.
Yep, there you go.
So, yeah, that was the problem. We apologize for that. My mic's working again. So,
very important.
As we look at it, scoreless game here between the two, is this something that both sides, because Liberty, this squad hasn't been to the national semifinals ever. Liberty did win one years ago, but that is a team that's now up there. They won back in 2006. That's a team now that's up in D1. And the last time Miami won it was back in 2000. So is this a situation, and I'll go to you first, Sean, that both teams are sort of getting the nerves out of their system?
Yeah, it could definitely be something like that, Brett. And, it's you mentioned before, it's both of these teams, technically have never been in this kind of a situation or in the finals for that matter. And it's definitely a good point to think that you want to be the guy, the team that you don't want to give up the first goal. I think that's the big point on it. And at some point in time, they're going to play this really tight until at some point one team is going to start to get really aggressive. And I think that's at that point, when the gloves come off, if you will, the training wheels will come off, if you will.
And then, Andrew, now you and I saw the first one, the overtime game with Miami, and that was, everyone threw caution to the wind in that one. It was an up-and-down game all the way through. And yet we're seeing here in this one, neither team has played each other, as was the case like yesterday. Neither team has played each other in the regular season, and yet it's a completely different feel to it through the first 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Yesterday, everybody was playing for their lives because they knew that not only did they need to win, but they needed help on the other side, and that was regardless of who would have won that game between Utah and Belleville, and also on this rink between Miami and Boston. Here today, you're seeing, like you said, a little bit more of a tentative game because, again, this is the first meeting between these two teams. If you're Liberty, you just got out of a great game yesterday, a great overtime thriller against William Patterson. So you're kind of trying to ease back into it because you just played, call it 63 minutes of nonstop run and gun hockey, coming back from a 3-1 deficit and winning in overtime. And if you're Miami, well, you're kind of playing with house money at this point. They came into this tournament in a pool with Belleville, Utah, and Boston, and everybody gave Belleville pretty much the clear shot right to the finals, with a lot of people actually picking them to win. Of course, Belleville eliminated due to Miami shutting them out on day 2. So now they have that mentality where they're here in the semis, and they can kind of play a little bit more carefree, but I think they were in the back of their minds, they're like, we have a legitimate shot at winning something here and doing something great. So they are trying to play a little bit tentatively, and I think in the second period you're going to see a lot more of the hard-fought Red Hawk hockey that we're used to seeing.
It'll be interesting to see how the second period shapes out. 9-6 the shots in favor of Liberty after 1, but nobody's put a goal in the net as of yet. We'll take a few minutes timeout here on the Utah Hockey Network, so to speak, and the Utes Network, as we like to say. When we come back, the three of us will get you set up for second period action. Miami and Liberty are scoreless after 20 minutes of play. Back here, first intermission between Miami and Liberty. Scoreless game. Brett Luthner, Andrew Shapiro, Sean Broderick. And quickly before the boys come back on the ice. First, Andrew, I'll go to you. Let's take a look at the Liberty. Let's take a look at the Miami side. What are you looking for out of the Red Hawks here, second period?
I'm looking for an uptick in pressure intensity. You know, Coach Camuto is going to be there telling him to throw everything they can at this goalie. He is only a freshman playing in the national semifinal. He does have a win on the tournament, but you know that he's looking to get some more pressure on the Liberty goaltender.
On the Liberty side, Sean, they're the team, the number one seed out of the Southeast. Started to pick up the intensity at the end of the period. Got some shots on goal there. What are you looking for out of the Flames?
And they're the number one team in the Southeast for a reason. And you're right, they picked up the ante a little bit. And I think being able to feel out the University of Miami, Ohio, it's for me, I think it's going to be an interesting period for them. I think that they have some things figured out, and they made some adjustments going into the second period. We'll see how they work out, though, for the Flames.
Chris Lowe's loves playing a matchup game as a coach. He's one of the finest minds as a coach here in the ACHA in Division II in particular. And so we'll see if he's got any adjustments for his troops as well as Coach Camuto there for the Miami Red Hawks. The Flames are on the ice. We're still awaiting the arrival of the Red Hawks as they just step out onto the ice now. This is something we didn't see the atmosphere as much in this game. There's not as many people packing the stands as we had in that first game between Grand Valley and Florida Gulf Coast, but still something with family and friends in the stands here that'll amp these guys up.
Absolutely, and you can always rely on the fans to help get you through those tough moments where your intensity may not be where you want it to be. You win a big face-off, you get a big play, and you can feed off the energy from the crowd.
Well, our time is done here. We're going across. Mr. Coma, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, guys. Getting ready for our second period. We want to thank Brett, Andrew, and Sean up there for our intermission stuff. Matt Coma, Rasty McGibbon upstairs as we get ready for our second period between Miami and Liberty. No score through the first 20 minutes of play. Shots 9-6 in favor of the Flames through that first opening period. Teams will switch ends for this second period. Liberty's in the all-white uniforms with blue pants and black helmets. They're moving left to right. In the second period, Miami's in the all-red uniforms. They're moving right to left. As we get ready to go, no penalties carry over into our second period as the teams meet at center ice. Our second period of semifinal number 2 about to get underway as the puck's dropped with the Red Hawks controlling the faceoff and immediately having it tipped out into the spectators. Here on our near side, we'll have just a 7-second difference between the 20 minutes we saw on the clock and the ones we see now. 19:53 left here in this period. As we'll reset again at center ice. Won by the Red Hawks yet again as Lehigh sends one through the center of the zone. It's gathered by Natowski, who sends one over the far side. His pass is off target. And an icing call with 19:44 to go. So just 16 seconds gone and 2 whistles already here in the second period. In a moment, you'll hear the soothing sounds of Rasty McGibbon's voice as he's been quite a busy man here in this first intermission.
Rasty McGibbon huffing and puffing after he walks around the ring.
As we have a face-off here on the near side, Miami wins the draw. Unfortunately, unable to hold on to it was number 10, Parizek. As Liberty up the near side, Dockstead will backhand a pass. Just getting a stick on it was Freeman, but he was unable to hold on to it as Berger stole it away. Now a touch pass gives it back to Berger. Toe drag in the slot. Saved by Scott. Still loose. Gathered by the Flames.
Fantastic right leg pad save there by Scott as he was able to extend that out. The defense did the rest.
Ingles with a low angle shots denied by Taylor Lay as now the Red Hawks look to bring it out. End-to-end action already here. Just a minute in here in the second period.
Want to say hello to a really good friend of mine, Mike Benny, that's working there at Home Depot, Highway 7 in Woodbine in Toronto, what we like to call Wapville, Ontario.
Don't keep me in suspense, Rasty.
I almost didn't say that. That's why.
As we have the puck in the Miami end, Red Hawks with an opportunity to try and break it out as it's swung around here and it's floated in the far corner. Lone shot so far belongs to Liberty, 1-0, 10-8 the total, or 1-2. Miami does have 2 shots on their record. 10-8 the total count so far.
I think it's really going to be a matter of time before you see things open up.
There's a nice pass in front. Scott with a great save The freshman standing tall for Liberty keeps it a scoreless game.
And that was a fantastic save as you saw his body out on that white ice, spread out, and almost a little reminiscent of Billy Ranford with the two-pad stack, and he was spread and had his arm along the top of that left leg pad to cut the angle down even more, and that's why it's still 0-0. But Miami is showing signs of offensive life.
As we have a new center taking the draw now will be Olsen for the Redhawks, unsuccessfully able to win that draw as the Liberty Flames move forward. Center pass looking for Granlund was off of his stick. Now it's back to the Redhawks here near side. Sent in hard by the Redhawks by Rispoli to the far corner. Backhands it to the near side, Huntington. Passing up the near boards, the pass off the boards will go all the way down. Waved off as it looked like Glade kind of cheated out of his crease to nullify that icing call. Liberty's able to go to work here in the offensive zone. Pass up the far side off the stick of Kazmierzak. Miami able to clear the zone, but their pass off target. This one will go for icing with 17:34 left.
And, really, I think you heard there with the interview Dave Kurtz, the coach of Miami, and he talked about being pretty happy with the play of his team dressed in red here in the first 20 minutes of this contest. I think defensively, very happy. I know to beat this Liberty team, they are going to have to generate some offense. And so far with 9 shots and about 23 minutes of play, that is in question.
Ingles with a center pass. It's denied by the Redhawks
and you
set
may
back
be able
down.
to help me with this, but what is the maximum goal production that they've had throughout this tournament? I think it was 2 yesterday and 2-0. Am I correct?
The Redhawks?
Yeah.
They had the 5. So Miami's had 2 goals against Utah, 2 goals against Lindenwood Belleville, the 5 in the 5-4 win against Boston yesterday.
You're absolutely correct, and I stand corrected.
So Miami does not. It's actually one of the top scoring offenses, believe it or not. They're one of the top 10 scoring offenses in the country as far as goals scored. But really, when we've been talking with the coaches for Miami all weekend long, I've had the opportunity to call their game back on Friday, as defense has been the mantra for this Miami team, and it's worked out well so far for them.
Yeah, and it is really working well today as Liberty at times having trouble, it appears, breaking out of their own zone, and not a ton of scoring opportunities or dangerous time if you're a Miami fan.
Good shot saved by Scott on that far side. That was Dower that had an opportunity to put that one home. He's second on the team in points for the Redhawks. As it's loose on that far side, 3 Hawks, 2 Flames, now 3 Flames down in that corner. The team's trying to dig after it. Stealing it out is Ingles. Ingles will give it up to the near side as it's back out to center ice. Dower tries to send one along. He catches a Flame on that far side. It looks like Drummeller took a front end of that clear attempt. As we get an offside call here on the Flames here with 16:14 left.
One of the interesting things that has been an issue for Flames teams in years past, they were the first team in the country to have a collegiate hockey team in all 5 divisions of ACHA. They were the first that had 3 men's divisions and 2 women's. And I know in years past there has been of up and down, almost like you'd see with an NHL club. And so sometimes the Division II roster would be something that was a bit of a fluid concept. But I think my understanding this year, they have had a more stable group of guys, and that allows them to gel. And they've had some good goaltending with both of their guys. The goaltender yesterday that won in the overtime matchup on the bench right now, and Scott has had some times where he has been very solid today.
Yeah, Scott forced to make a save right there as that came in with Whitney on hot pursuit. As Rasty mentioned, the hockey program at Liberty, one of the more popular sports down there in Virginia.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm a Canadian that's a transplant to Virginia. It's almost like the bumper sticker. I'm not Southern, but I got down here as quick as I could, right? That was actually a joke. That was actually
I got the humor in it, yes.
But, in Virginia, things that end in ball are very popular.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
That is true. but hockey does tend to be a campus favorite, and Liberty with that fantastic facility that they have there.
Walsh with a shot. Good glove save from Scott. He's been
flashing the leather there.
Yeah, both goaltenders solid so far here through this contest.
And I'll tell you, Kirk Handy has really been a pioneer in that really third generation of Liberty hockey. Very key in getting a rink on campus, and just after a $12 million renovation or something, probably one of the nicest barns in ACH hockey, men's, women's, or anything. So I know teams like to come there. It's they got a video scoreboard and just a beautiful facility.
I was going to mention that, dude, just from the broadcast perspective, we're going to get a penalty on the Redhawks on that last hit. Delayed opportunity, but Ingles looking for a goal right now, is able to dive and make that play. Was Zauer, but now here the Redhawks finally touch up. A penalty upcoming, a good opportunity for Liberty to get on the board. A good defense by number 19. That's Chad Olson.
And
2-on-1.
Probably if you're a Liberty fan, there is probably some impatience and possibly frustration brewing as you've been through 25 minutes of hockey now. You only got 11 shots. You're being outshot in this contest. But, I think the thing, Chris Lowe's and Mike Morrison, they got to get the guys calmed down and to buy in and just keep investing. And now, you have to be patient. And special teams can be your opportunity to get that puck into the back of the net where they are going to believe it belongs.
As you heard on the PA system, 2 minutes for checking room behind to number 14, Norton. Leads to the second power play of the afternoon for the Flames as a shot from Sidden is denied off the waffle board of Taylor Lake. As near side, Kazmierzak will get the puck back, top of the circle. Now gives the top of the point. Sidden wanted a one-time shot, instead winds up again. This one denied right at the top of the slot. Cleared out by the Redhawks. A 2-on-2 the other way. A shot saved by Scott Luce in front. Couldn't pull the handle, was number 22, Andrew Pascal. Flames the other way, 2-on-2 is in that far corner is Birema.
Flames there changing, waiting for some fresh bodies.
As Ingles has time to shoot, he will, and shot just went wide. Miami able to clear.
And a lot of bodies flying down in front of that Miami net. And Liberty, it's interesting. We've seen this is the second extra man advantage we've seen for Liberty. They start out very tentative, a lot of passing early on, but then as the power play wears on, the green light comes on and they just start shooting. And that really seems to be when Liberty is able to generate some of their best offensive chances.
Here's Dockstetter in the corner, plays down low, looking for Garland, but couldn't find Garland. As now it comes to Freeman. He tries to come into the slot, met by a couple of sticks. He'll fire a shot that's off the glass. Here on the near side, tapped out. Ingles can't hold on to it. It goes all the way back down the end. Now 20 seconds left here in the power play for the Flames. Liberty with one last rush here on the power play, moving it ahead. Pass to the near side, Ingles. Pulls into the corner, comes behind the net. Looking for something in front. He'll wheel around the entire zone, passing it to Barstead near side. Penalty time about to expire. The shot takes a deflection right in front. A shot by number 12, Dockstetter, was denied by Alley. And now the Redhawks out of the box here on the near side comes Walsh. Walsh weaving through, but a good poke check from the defense of the Flames. Now 4-on-2 opportunity here. Kazmierzak has it poked away. It's right to Norton. Norton ahead, gives it a Walsh. 1-on-2, poked away at the red line. Going on that far side, gathered by Frenzel. Helped along by Walsh as well. Flames back in possession.
In Liberty's two power play opportunities, you can pretty well start to wonder, is the next opportunity going to go it's going to be Liberty in the box and Miami on the power play. And so, Liberty just, if you're a Liberty fan, they've got to find a way to score 5-on-5. For Miami, they have got to find a way to score 5-on-5. Even though they are out shooting them, I would say in this period, probably a little bit of more momentum now as Liberty coming off that power play. But Miami is continuing to play very strong defensively, and teams quite evenly matched here.
Shot off the draw from Liberty just went sailing wide as Miami able to break it out. Nice tap along play by Spiccola. Looks for his man in front, brings it behind the nets, has a man on the back door, but another great save as Scott able to deny that opportunity.
11:48 in the second period. Shots are 15-12, and the score tells something different, as there is no advantage as both teams with a goose egg unable to get one past the tenants of the Twine tent.
We saw a high-scoring affair in our first semifinal. 7 total goals, a 5-2 win for Florida Gulf Coast. We're still scoreless as we get almost to halfway through our contest here this afternoon.
And honestly, I'm pretty surprised. If you were to ask me how this was going to go, this would not have been.
Garland with a nice move. He's finally tied up by the Redhawks. Goes hard in the boards as that was Dunham that rode him into the back boards there. As Burema will give it to the top of the point. Shannon tried to go back to him. It was cut off by Miami back out to center ice. Lifted by Huntington back in the other way.
And Miami regrouping in their own zone as it was a delayed offsides by Liberty.
As a turnover now gives Dockstetter a try, but a good defensive play. Now a shot off the side of the net. It's back to Dockstetter. Flames in the middle of a change. The center pass went right back to Miami. Near side is Zarian. The rest of the Redhawks now in the middle of their change as Zarian weaves through, comes back behind that. Finally rubbed down to the play by Natowski. As he comes to the top of the point, Lehigh can't hold it in. Good back checking though from Whitney, the forward, able to stop number 19 Freeman coming in. As the puck goes up out of play with 10:33 left here to go. We're still scoreless between Miami and Liberty here in semifinal 2, the 2016 ACHA Division II National Championship Tournament.
And I think this really, in terms, if you were to look at which team this tentative play favors, probably Miami. And, Miami, a very patient team, and they really are just looking for the opportunity to mess up, and then they will strike.
As we get a hand pass here in Miami.
And, for Liberty, probably not the quantity of shots that they would be used to after half a hockey game is almost behind us. They have got to be careful because that next minor penalty more than likely will be coming to them. And that is when Miami can try to take a lead in this contest.
They lead the shot count 9-3 here in the second period. As Rasty mentioned, the momentum more on Liberty's side thanks to that power play just a couple of moments ago. As Berger able to leave it off here to the near side. Parizek floats one over the far side. That goes into the Liberty bench. 10:08 remaining.
Face-off is going to come to.
Both linesmen trying to retrieve that puck, so we'll have to be kept in suspense for a moment. Looks like we'll have it here on the near side. Kazmerzak wins the draw to Natowski, who makes a good save. Taylor Lay off that shot from the top of the circle. Now loose near side. Berger drags his man to the ice. As Miami earns another turnover, now it's 2-on-2. Whitney trying to get past the man, he does. Unfortunately left the puck in the corner. And it's stolen back away by the Flames. Sidden has time to skate it himself. 4-on-2 here for the Flames. Inside goes Barstead. Leaves one for Kazmerzak. A shot blocked in front. We're going to get a penalty coming up on the Redhawks. As a broken stick is loose in front of the goaltender. As Barstead unable to hold, that was Bacher that couldn't hold on to it. Miami with the touch, another penalty upcoming, the third of the afternoon for Miami.
And, really for Miami, interesting that the Miami player had 2 sticks. And he was going to give it to Linesman. The linesman said, I don't want it. You give it back to the Liberty guy. So, one thing that is looking like a little bit of an issue for Miami, and we'll talk about that, and I'll let you take the media time out there.
All right, we do have to pay some bills here real quick. We want to thank everybody for watching the ACHA Division II National Championship live here from Westchester, Pennsylvania at the Iceline Quadrinks Complex. We'd like to thank our second period sponsors, Gong Show Hockey, Warrior Hockey, and Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. We'd also like to extend a special thank you to the Westchester Visitors Bureau, the Iceline Quadrinks, App Hammer, and our broadcast partners from the University of Utah.
Ute Vision.
Ute Vision.
The
University of Utah producing all 27 of these games this weekend. We thank them for all they've done this weekend.
Well, we thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I can only do so much.
One of the 2 masterminds of Ute Vision. And I remember last year when we were out in Salt Lake City that you guys had one of those new Mac computers that actually looks like a little, about 8-inch diameter trash can.
Yeah, the little itty-bitty trash can that's actually a computer. Fortunately, we couldn't bring that all the way from Salt Lake to Pennsylvania for this one, but Has a shot on the power play. Lay makes the save as Garland was in front trying to tap that rebound home.
And that's probably what I would have liked to have seen here. 10 seconds already into the power play. Liberty with a scoring opportunity as they're shooting the puck with bodies in front and also bodies there to gobble up any juicy rebounds. One thing, though, I will say for Lay, excellent rebound control we have seen thus far in this contest. Liberty, now Liberty with 3 men up high and kind of an umbrella.
As Freeman and Ingles play catch, they're looking for that man in the middle as they're looking for Birama, but he couldn't hold on to the puck. A lot of traffic in the slot as the shot the other way by Norton. Glove down by Scott, and quickly the other way come Liberty, but the pass off target gives Miami an opportunity to clear. 1:20 left to go here in the power play as Liberty up the far boards, now center circle. Here to the near side, Birama. Rings it around, Ingles gives it back to Birama near side. Holds at the near side, had 2 men on him, now gives it to the top of the point. Freeman looking, now comes into the slot. Nice backdoor pass, but a block here on the near side by Rispoli. Back in front, another try. This one denied by Lay and out of the zone.
Excellent movement there by Liberty, and it's just a matter of time. And what I was going to talk about there before the media timeout, Miami cannot afford to give Liberty too many more man advantages because Liberty now, their power play is definitely getting hot. I know they have not put the puck in the back of the net, but already 4 good scoring chances. I don't care what the shot clock says, but 4 good scoring chances on this man advantage. And given enough time, Liberty is going to smoke you on this man advantage as they're moving the puck very well behind the goal and springing a man and getting shots from 10 feet out.
Barstead holds near side. He goes down low as the Flames set up a cycle. Back to Barstead, top of the point, cross the ice. Huntington a shot, saved by Lay. Kicks out to the slot, not out though. Kasmerzak chases down a puck here on the near side, battling with Lehigh 2-on-1. Kerr down there as well, able to give it to Kasmerzak. Top of the point, Barstead, penalty about to expire for the Redhawks. As it's now back to the top of the point, off a stick, back to Barstead. Thought about a shot, comes here to the near side. Lay able to get across and make a great save.
Had that been about half a second faster, it would have been 1-0. But excellent job by the goaltender Lay. He is the only reason this is not a 2-0 game. And I'll tell you something, Scott flashing the leather. He has a very quick glove hand. And we understand now why his nickname is Earl. It was Cash Money, middle name Earl. 7:12 left to go in the second period. I am Rasty McGibbon. Matt Coleman beside me here in the Veterans of Foreign Wars Memorial Gondola. And it is a 0-0 game. Anybody's game at this point. And I tell you, this second period has been a dandy in terms of action, especially the last 5 minutes or so.
We're definitely seeing a lot more scoring chances. We're going to get another penalty here, this time to the Flames, so the Redhawks will get their first crack at the power play here as a tripping call is made to Liberty.
And I'll tell you, definitely the Redhawks can take a bit of momentum away from the play of their goaltender as he stood on his head. Liberty really only getting credit with about 3 shots during that 2 minutes.
Well, I think 4 of them were probably blocked by defenders in front. Lay didn't have to make all those saves.
That's a good point. But, you know, we told you the opportunity for Miami was coming. If you're a Miami fan, this is what you have waited for. And now Liberty defensively is going to have to try to kill off this 2 minutes. I'm a big fan of the active box, and Liberty just happy taking that puck and getting it the safest place, which is 200 feet from their goaltender, Scott.
Ben Freeman, the culprit for the Liberty Flames. He goes 2 minutes for tripping as the Redhawks go on their first power play of the afternoon. Coming in now, Whitney here on the near side. Floats one back behind the net. They'll chase after on the far side. Romanski, first one there, tied up by a Flame. As Whitney able to pick it up, gets to the top of the point. Gunther with a shot, another one gobbled up by Scott. He hasn't given up many rebounds here this afternoon.
Want to send a couple shout-outs to a couple good buddies of mine that are just texting in from Huntsville, Ontario. Dave Hiscox and Kirk Handy there with Muskoka Plowing. They're just grabbing lunch at a late lunch there at Tim Hortons in Huntsville, right out just off of Lake Vernon. And want to say hi to 2 good buddies of mine going way back there.
How many friends in Canada do you have, Rusty?
I think all my friends are Canadian except for you, Matt. I mean, besides for you, none.
Miami goes back to work here on the power play. Good passing from the Redhawks as Leon with a shot, getting a piece of it, Scott. Liberty tries to come out and pinballs around. Another try right in the breadbasket of Scott as that was number 10, Joey Parizek on the doorstep, had a great opportunity to put the Redhawks in front.
And I'll tell you, we're seeing a bit of a replay of what was happening 200 feet away just moments ago, and that is the goaltenders are just putting on a clinic here, and they are not going to be the loose link in the chain as they are standing on their head and keeping this one tied at 0-0. They're saying that shots favoring Miami at 20-18.
As it's been back and forth here in the second period as Berger brings it in himself. Canceled out by the Flames here on the near side, though, as sending it harder on the boards was Barstead. Couldn't clear the zone, though. Redhawks set up. Lehigh here to the near side. Gets it back from Azarian as he fires a wrist shot. Again, the flash of the leather from
and I'm going to be honest, there was about 3 bodies between where the puck left the ice and where it ended up in the glove of Scott, and somehow he got into that low position, was able to see through traffic, and again, he is keeping this one 0-0. Liberty really needing to dig deep defensively as the Red Hawks have been in the Liberty zone for a substantiated amount of time and with sustained pressure.
As it comes back to the Red Hawks now, playing catch here on the near side. Berger turns it over. It's a breakaway opportunity for Birema. He has an opportunity. He'll shoot, but a pad save from Taylor Lay.
Fantastic job there by Birema in terms of executing the man advantage, but the goaltender Lay up to it.
3-on-1. Berger getting a piece of it is Scott. Great goaltending on both ends. Another try from the top of the point. Another one saved as well as it comes to the far corner. Top of the point. Penalty time now over. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. As a shorthanded and power play opportunities. A shot tipped wide that time by Azarian. He settles down to Liberty now. Outlet pass here to the near side. Freeman leaves it for Shannon, 3-on-2. Freeman back to Shannon. He'll shoot short side. Taylor Lay make the save as a congregation ensues here on the near side. Looks like cooler heads will prevail.
And I do not think it's the type of congregation that you see weekly at Liberty.
No. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Things have ramped up here.
And I will tell you that the goaltending is just spectacular. It really is. Both of these guys, just in an incredible display of athleticism. Scott probably a little bit more of a reflex goalie, but just incredible in terms of his acrobatics. And I'll tell you something, there is nothing to be ashamed of if you're a Miami fan, as that goaltender has been incredible.
Ingles shot blocked by Norton as the Redhawks are back on the penalty kill after that last scrum that we were just talking about. After that save from Lay, it's number 15 for the Redhawks, Mark Azarian, that goes to the box. As Liberty, their 4th power play of the day. They're 0 for 3 so far.
And it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. I mean, that was a power play opportunity for Miami where they had a lot of time in the Liberty zone and getting some pump from their goaltender as he played very strong. And, you know, one thing we talked about, you can have too much passing. And Liberty
doing a lot of passing right now as Freeman fires one, takes a deflection of a shin pad off the glass. Ingles will try. That one's a pad save from Lay and clear down the other way.
And, you know, about 3 too many passes for Liberty. Get the puck on the net. And you know, one thing we saw with Florida Gulf, it's going to go for icing here with 57 left in this power play opportunity for Liberty. 3:39 left to go in the second period. And really, Liberty, you know, I'm a big fan of the old KISS principle. And not talking about those girls I went out with in college, but anyway, keep it simple, stupid, and
yes.
you know, don't make it so intricate that you don't have time to score. We get another.
It's still going to be on the Flames. It's a good offensive effort from number 26 for the Redhawks. That's Benjamin Romanski in the program. Earns a call from the Flames, so we're going to get some 4-on-4 hockey for the first time this afternoon, as it'll be number 16 Kasmerzak that'll head to the box for tripping.
And, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say 4-on-4 hockey favors Liberty a bit, as they've been able really to generate some more odd man rushes than Miami. The thing they have to be careful for, if they spring that third man to get a 3-on-2, that only leaves one going back the other way and gives Miami a potential 2-on-1. going the other way. Not that either goalie could not withstand that, because they have just been spectacular at both ends.
So back underway here, under 3.5 to go, or 4-on-4 for the next 40 seconds as this puck goes into the Liberty bench. Quite a distance to float that one into the Liberty bench. This goes all the way back towards Scott, and we'll have a face-off in the offensive end for Miami.
And you see that Chris Lowe's, the coach, said, you know what, you float another one over here like that, I'm not going to put you back out.
Not a whole lot of protective padding for the coaches over there.
About 1 minute and 10 seconds of 4-on-4. Then you're going to have 1 minute 10 of power play for the Red Hawks.
So with that penalty for Liberty, they're now 0 for 4 now on the power play. As Liberty trying to make something work here, Dockstetter has to hold on to that puck. Plays here to the near side, looks for Sidden, went off of a Miami stick. Still loose back behind the net, sent over the far side. Lehigh couldn't control. As Dockstetter now has it, sends one in front. It's cut off by Whitney. Just gets it out to neutral ice before it's taken away back by the Flames. Here's Freeman on the near side. He lost it trying to make a toe drag. As now Miami 3-on-2, 4-on-2 for the Red Hawks. Leaving a pass, good play from Dockstetter. Gets in the passing lane. Now back the other way, Garland 2-on-1, walking in. Good poke check from Berger near side. Back the other way now, a 3-on-2 for the Red Hawks. Spicola into the end. He'll shoot upstairs. Scott makes a save, spills it, able to recover and make the save with 2:19 to go.
As that penalty coming to a conclusion for Miami, this has now set up a 5-on-4 opportunity for Miami. And I'll tell you something, they just are drawing energy from their goaltender, and both of these athletes wearing the pads and the blocker and catching men at either end. I could go on and on. They've just been fantastic so far in about a 46-shot game total, and they have let nothing in.
So Miami now on its second power play. It's a shortened one as Spicola fired a shot that deflected up over the cage. Whitney looks for a short side shot. It's blocked by the Flames. Moving forward now, but poked away. It stays in the zone. Whitney, drop pass, leaves it for his man. Walsh shrieks one around as that's off target. It'll force Miami all the way back. Back for the Red Hawks, is Gunther as he sends it all the way down. No icing waved off by the officials.
I think if Liberty can get this cleared out, that's going to burn off the end of that man advantage, and then they have got it down to their own bench. This is the long change here in the second period, 2-1. Both teams at full strength now as the offender
is back out of the box. Now Miami 0 for 2 on the power play. Liberty's 0 for 4. So we've yet to see a goal so far. Maybe see one. Here's a one-time shot. Second attempt is blocked. So loose as a pile of bodies ensue. And the referee loses sight of it. Scott, another big save in front. 1:13 left. Still scoreless.
And I tell you, this is just a battle at both ends. And these goaltenders continue to just say no. Miami player there getting up and adjusting his equipment. I think it's his bucket came off in that melee in front of the net, and Scott tipping up his goal helmet and getting a quick shot of much needed H2O as buck 13 left to go in this second period. Rasty, McGibbon, Matt Coma high in the Veterans of Foreign Wars Memorial Gondola, and in a minute 13 we're going to be sitting across to our compadres about 100 feet across and bring you the intermission show with some pretty in-depth analysis, and they're going to tell you what needs to happen so that this does not go on and on and on.
Liberty trying to stop that as we have a pass to the far side. He was looking for Ingles, but pass just a little off target. Flames get it back. Ingles looking in. Nice backhand pass, but couldn't find a Flame stick. Another try, kicked aside by Lay back to the top of the point. As Drumheller able to keep it in the zone. Now top of the slot is a bouncy puck settled for a moment by Dockstetter as he's forced to just play it behind.
Some fantastic second effort by Liberty, and it's those little things that really tend to add up over the course of a game. They thought that was going to be icing, but waved off as a tip there, and Liberty just happy now to get it out and transition up through the neutral zone. But those second effort things by Liberty really are going to add up over the course of a hockey game. They're winning a lot of battles in the Miami zone and just doing an excellent job of keeping it in.
Garland with a try before the period ends. That shot is blocked in front, that time by Dunham. Liberty with one last chance as we're down to 10 seconds. Now on top of the point, Natowski with a shot. It's blocked. Breakaway opportunity ahead for Norton. Racing back Natowski. The horn sounds. Scott makes the save for good effort. As we're tied at 0 through 40 minutes of play, neither team has found the back of the net.
And really incredible. 51 shots thus far in total for these two teams. And really, I think there's not a lot of criticism to be given out for either coach. We see David Kurtz now going to go down and try to speak with Chris Lowe's or Mike Morrison from Liberty University. And, goaltending-wise, there is not a criticism in the world that I can have for either one. We see the linesman now down talking to Scott, the Liberty goaltender, and they're chatting it up. And just because both teams exit through one door, they are letting Miami get off as two Miami players over there now speaking to one of the referees. The linesman down speaking to the goaltender, Scott, as they are waiting for Miami to get off the ice. But really just a fantastic game thus far. 51 shots on goal.
Our trio of Pioneers are standing by. Brett, Sean, and Andrew as we'll send downstairs. David Kurtz standing by with head coach of the Liberty Flames.
All right, we're here with head coach of Liberty, Chris Lowe's. Chris, 40 minutes in, 0-0. Game really started to open up there in the second half. There was some penalties. What are some things that you liked about it? What are some things you'd like to see change in the third?
Yeah, I liked the first period of 5-on-5. I think that is a better for our game. And we got a couple. They're tic-tac, so not a whole lot of worry there as far as discipline, just the way the refs are calling it. So we're able to battle back. I think our power play had a bunch of good opportunities. We just got to find a spot. This goalie's quick and he's good. He was really good yesterday against Boston, and we just got to find a way. There's probably some room up top there if we pick our spot.
You were 0 for 4 so far on the power play. That last power play, you finally started to get some scoring opportunities. Anything you were to like to see them tighten up a little bit on when you set it up inside the zone?
I mean, our first unit's doing really well. We're getting the shots we're looking for. Second unit, we got to find a way to get pucks to the crease. We've had some disappointing stretches there of 20, 30 seconds where we get a bit of movement and then a turnover. So we got to find a way, even if it's just a shot from up top, get it to the crease, crash and bang, and make something happen.
All right, Chris, well, good luck.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, up to you guys in the gondola.
40 minutes in the books here. Thank you, Dave. And 40 in the books. Still, we are where we started. Scoreless between Liberty and Miami. And it was a defensive first period, boys. But, boy, well, as we were saying at the first intermission, business really picked up, Sean, in that second period.
You're absolutely right about that, Brett. When we got the 28 shots to 23 now. All of a sudden, like, where did all that come from? Both teams really up the ante, as I mentioned before the start of this period, and it still hasn't shown up anything on the scoreboard. Both of these goaltenders have just done such an unbelievable job of keeping the puck out of the net, especially with all the power plays and penalties that have been in the second period.
And an interesting thing when we look at the power plays and the penalty, Liberty's had 4-man advantages. They're 0 for 4 on the power play, and a lot of that has to do with how that first line has been playing on those 4-man advantages.
Absolutely. That top power play unit for the Liberty Flames is really focusing on getting those shots from those prime areas like the slot, whereas their second power play unit really just comes out and fires the puck. So Liberty doing a good job of getting shots on the power play, pressuring Taylor Lay, but I want to see a little bit more disparity from them. I want to see two lines of power play time attacking the net if I'm the Flames.
Again, but all these teams at this point, they have that, those two combinations that they can really use, power play and penalty kill. But then when you get down to the nitty-gritty 5-on-5 action, that period, unlike the first one where it was a lot of feeling each other out, trying to get where the game was going to go, that was the more up-tempo style that we saw from both of those teams in their overtime wins, Sean, from yesterday's games.
Yeah, absolutely. There was just no more funny business. It was just time to go for both of these teams, and they both, like I said before, just picked up the ante again, and they were very much able to match each other's intensity again. It's nothing tie. Going into the third period, it's going to be played tight all the way. Once again, it's just this goaltending matchup between Taylor Lay and Blake Scott has been unbelievable. Saves left, robbery right, robbery left, whichever way you look at it. It's just been incredible, Brett.
And Andrew, as I ask you this, sometimes during the course of a game, you think that there's a situation where a save or two may change the momentum of a game or a period or a shift or whatever. And we've had a couple of situations in this one where a save is made. You think, all right, here comes the momentum the other way. Everybody would race down, and there was another big save at the other end.
Absolutely. Both teams doing a good job of getting those second and third chances. You see Scott making saves to your left and Lane making multiple saves to the right. It's back and forth action the whole way, and it's a great pace for this period. The shots in the period were 22-14 in favor of the Redhawks. So I mentioned in the first intermission that they were going to up the ante. They really did that and then some.
It did up the ante in that case. But now we got to look at it from also a practical standpoint. As a coach, you kind of get a little worried when that many shots get pumped in on your goal after 40, especially in that period. So as we're looking at it, and Andrew, I'll ask you this question first. As we're looking at it, is there something that Coach Lowe's might be a little bit worried about here in this, or coaches test on both sides?
Well, I think Coach Lowe's is probably worried about giving up those second chance opportunities. You saw Liberty with their defense kind of come back down low, and Liberty likes to play a very defensive style of hockey. You wouldn't know it by their scores that they've allowed, 35 shots on goal, or they allowed 36 shots on goal in the one game that Blake Scott played earlier, and they allowed, 40 shots on goal yesterday against William Patterson.
Yeah.
But Liberty does like to come down low, and you saw it a lot in their penalty kill. They like to box out, and they like to kind of clog the middle and take away those chances. So if I'm Coach Lowe's, I'm a little concerned about the fact that Miami is getting these second and third chance opportunities, even at even strength, the fact that Scott has had to make 3 or 4 saves in a row.
Sean, as we take a look at it, too, in a scoreless game, it's starting to seem to be that the guys know out there that the goaltenders are on their game. And at a certain point in that period, it looked like there was too much passing going on between the two, with each side in this game.
Yeah, it definitely looked like perhaps, saying, oh, man, this goalie's hot. We got to try to get him moving back and forth, trying to make him look around here and try to really get him all out of sorts. And it, to me, I think it's when it comes to a goal to the two goaltenders today, it feels like it's going to be a weird hop or some type of a deflection that's going to eventually break this scoreless tie.
Yeah.
And to me right now, unless if things drastically change as far as the game is concerned, scoring wise in the third, I think the first goal that's going to get scored in this third period wins the game.
It could very well. It might be first goal wins in this one. Our score at the end of 2, it's the University of Miami of Ohio, 0, and Liberty, 0, here from Iceline in Westchester, Pennsylvania. We'll take a few minutes timeout, and when we come back, the three of us will get you set for the third period of action, scoreless after 2, right here at the ACHA Men's Division II National Championships. Back here, we get set for the start of the third period, scoreless between Liberty and Miami. And guys, real quickly, as we get set for this third period, first of all, for you, we'll go with you and Miami. What do they have to do so that this game doesn't go, as Rasty said earlier in the game, on and on and on?
They just got to keep pounding Blake Scott with shots. They already threw 19 at him in the second period. They threw 22 at him in the second period. They've just done an excellent job of peppering Liberty with offense, with pucks. They got to just keep doing the same thing.
On the Liberty end, Sean, what do they have to do so that I think Rasty's got to catch a flight back to Virginia or something like that. So what do they got to do?
Well, in order for that to happen, I guess you want to try to get some bodies in front. You got to try to get that. You got to try to get that that free kind of a deflection. I mean, it goes the same way for Miami against Liberty too. I mean, you got to try to put shots on net. You got to get guys in front of the net and try to tip these hot goaltenders, or else it's just going to be a long day.
It could be a long day or a long night, and there are a lot of people out here that might want to get dinner at some point. So we'll see how it goes. Will we have overtime, or will this end in regulation? We'll find out as we get the thoughts now from our men across the way, Matt Coma and America's favorite Canadian transplant, and he's got a bumper sticker to prove it, Rasty McGibbon.
He truly is America's favorite, isn't he?
That's a hard one to answer. It really is.
Welcome back, everybody. Matt and Rasty here up above on the other side of the rink as we get ready for our third and final period, just waiting for the teams to come out. 28-23 the shot count, as the boys mentioned over on that far side. We saw a ton of chances in that second period from both ends, but the goaltenders have been absolutely superb.
Goaltenders have absolutely been stellar. You're 100% correct, and I think the thing that's interesting is now as you transition into the third period, you almost are going to probably see some tentative play in the first period, because we can we can come back in the third and score two, and then we're up. And unfortunately now, there's 20 minutes of regular playing time between now and punching your ticket, to face Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow. And so I think staying out of the box is probably the number one thing. And I think number two is both of these goaltenders. And probably my advice would be the same for both teams. These goaltenders have proven to us that really they are going to stop what they can see. And so now you have to see if they can stop what they can't see, and that means traffic. And so, I think really if I had any criticism for either team, I probably would have a little bit of criticism for Liberty. And that is trying maybe not to be so selective on shooting the puck. I mean, Miami has, on the unofficial shot clock, is winning in the shots on goal category. But again, these guys, both goaltenders, are just sizzling hot right now, and they're stopping anything. They're looking around traffic. The defensemen are doing a good job of making sure that bodies are out of the way, and the goaltenders have definitely given them a chance to win on both ends.
We're still scoreless through two periods. On record, the longest time we've gone scoreless in this entire tournament. We've always had at least one goal throughout this point. This is the longest it's gone scoreless throughout the tournament long. The question is, who will break the stalemate?
And that is a real hard one. I would love to see it decided 5-on-5, but I would say that I don't think officiating in any way has had any bearing on this matchup. I know that if you watched these teams play and watch any of the other games in this national tournament, there has been probably more criticism than I have heard in years previous about the officiating. But I do not think that would be a valid complaint today, as we see the official there at center ice making sure both goaltenders and the timekeeper are ready, and he digs his heel into the center ice and drops the puck, and we're back underway.
Third period underway. Who's going to advance to the championship game against Florida Gulf Coast? We'll find out hopefully over the next 20 minutes. We'll see if extra time is required. We'll talk about that as we progress here in this third and final period. Liberty moving right to left as they fire the first shot of the period. On at the Taylor Lane, they'll make the save, and we'll have another face-off. Miami will be moving left to right in the red uniforms for this period, as we have a face-off on the far side. Just 18 seconds gone so far in the period. Is Miami able to win the draw, ringing it hard around to the near side boards? Unable to corral it was Parizek, as Sidon will send it back in for Liberty. See how tentative these two teams played. We saw a very tentative first period between these two. A lot more wide open in that second period with the teams getting a little more desperate. We'll see how far this game opens up here in the third. Berger able to keep it in, but it's right to Sidden as he sends it over the far side. Holding on patiently, Dockstetter, as he comes into the zone. 4 Redhawks to deal with. He gets by the first 2. Fortunately, the rest of them follow him to the corner.
Unfortunately, Dockstetter down with no puck support as he tries, and he curls back around, and Taylor Lay is there with that large black catching glove. The only thing that is not white on his body is that catching glove. And when it is out moving around that white ice, it is a very vivid contrast, and it has been active. There has been a lot of black action down in that end as Taylor Lay has kept everything out that has come his way.
So far, so good. As we break the stalemate, Liberty on the board. It's Sam Hazy on the near side, and Liberty strikes first.
And you know, Chris Lowe's talked about in that period that a very fast goaltender, and really when you're going to make him go side to side, that is when you're able to exploit any goaltender, as he did try to come across with an outstretched leg, but on the doorstep, Liberty, and they have broken the stalemate at 1-0.
I do have to correct, it's number 86. That's Sean Backer that put that goal in, and that's the one that puts the Flames ahead here early in the third. It's 1-0 Liberty over Miami.
And this is really going to change the dynamic in 2 ways, and it's going to change the dynamic in the sense that Liberty has now taken a minor penalty with just 1 minute and 18 seconds in, and probably only about 10 seconds after the goal, and that Miami is going to be able to play less tentative. They are going to have to kind of up it offensively, and you know, it's a bit of a tug of war. You know, Miami has played offensively, but they're a very strong defensive team, and now they are going to have to turn it up a little bit about Liberty in the offensive category.
So Miami an opportunity to try and even the score. A short angle shot is denied by Scott as he holds on with 18:34. The penalty was to the goal scorer, Sean Bacher's 2 minutes for tripping. As the Miami Redhawks go for their third power play of the afternoon. They're 0 for 2 so far.
A little bit of conversation there in front of the goaltender.
As we get ready for a face-off here on the near side. Won by the Redhawks, top of the point, floated here to the near side. Dower had it for a moment. It comes to the top of the point. Lots of time for Berger to fire a shot. It's wide. Open net. Best shot wide by number 9, Dower. Had the whole net to shoot at. He fired it wide. Now Dower near side. Back to the top of the point. Lehigh walking in. Wrist shot in the glove of Scott. Held on.
And that's what I talked about there at the start of this period. These goalies are going to stop what they can see. And that was a clear lane from the shooter right in. Scott, all he had to do was skate out to that red line painted between the blue ice and the white ice and got down on that butterfly with an outstretched glove hand and kept this one at a 1-0 contest. For Liberty, they're going to need to really kind of energize that box defense and get those guys moving as they're really allowing the point man a lot of ice to shoot them from there.
Lehigh now controls, gives it to Parizek near side. Turnaround shot. That time from Azarian is blocked to the corner. Now Parizek top of the point. Lehigh back to Parizek near side. Puck takes a deflection off of the Liberty stick. Berger can't hold on to it. Flames able to clear.
Liberty was able to change 2 on that clearing there, and the linesman helped out, and Liberty shot it right into the stomach of number 10.
As a shot, another blocker save from Scott as he sprawls out to make that stop. Back to Dower near side, helping out as well Parizek. Over to the far side, too far for the Flames to corral. It's kept in by Miami. Under 35 seconds to go on the power play as Whitney plays it to the top of the point. Berger quickly to Lehigh near side, gives it back to Berger. Time and space, he'll fire a shot, blocked by Bierman over to the corner. Whitney now back to the top of the point. Berger quickly to Lehigh near side. Down low now Dower. Back looking for Lehigh. Clear to the corner by the Flames. Down to 10 seconds left in the power play.
Nice stick work by Kerr there as he disrupted the puck coming through the high slot.
Now Berger holds as we get a tie up at the top of the point. Referee says play on. Flames now back to full strength as a shot is saved by Scott. Still loose in the slot. gathered by the Flames, looking for the home run pass. Miami gets a high stick on it. They'll touch it. That almost denied a breakaway opportunity for Liberty.
And I tell you, that was, even though it was a high stick, that was some good hand-eye coordination there by Miami as they were able to get a stick up in the air, and that would have surely been a breakaway for Liberty as they had sprung a man about 10 feet out behind the Miami defense, and he would have been off to the races down to meet Taylor Lay, who has stopped all but one.
24 saves for the Miami goaltender. 33 saves for the Flame Tenders. Another try in front. Lee with a huge save. Still loose in front. Turnaround shot. Here on the near side by Freeman is wide.
And I think you're going to see 5-on-5. This is going to turn into a bit of a shooting gallery for Liberty. I'd be curious when they even it up.
As now the Flames with an opportunity. 3-on-3, the back the other way. Freeman walking in, looking for Ingles in front, able to redirect it just wide. Another try sent in front, denied. Back in the corner, Ingles, Liberty trying to extend their lead. Sitting off the boards, back down low for Dock Center. Tangled up now, a 2-on-2 battle behind the net. Squirts out, now Miami in possession. Up the near side, Olsen up the far side off the stick of Walsh. They go after it on the far side, taken down again. That's number 15. That's Natowski with the play for Liberty. As Barstead ahead. Kazmierzak will send one along. Now Bacher now gives it back to Kazmierzak. He holds behind the net looking for something on the near side. Kazmierzak holding. He'll play it back behind. Waiting patiently is Bacher.
Fantastic board work there by Kazmierzak.
As now here's Ingles. That's number 21. That's Barstead down there. Now Kazmierzak sends one in front, denied by the Red Hawk defense. As they backhand one high, and a great catch.
Wow.
From Sean Bretherick, our WPU goaltender extraordinaire on the far side.
That was fantastic.
We don't call them the best commentators for nothing.
Gee, Wizard, that was great. And he's flapping his hand now like he's got a bit of a stinger.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a stinger, okay.
Hurts a little bit over on that side.
Just remember, my friend, it's a long way from your heart.
Back underway in the Miami end as the shot is just wide of Taylor Lay. Miami now breaks the puck out near side. Azarian getting through the defense can try to stuff his short side. Decide to go for Spicola instead. His pass was off target. Now Kerr near side. He'll float one into the far corner. Leaving it now behind. Here's Berger near side. Floats one to Dower. Dower center pass off the stick of Spicola back to the Flames. Losing it in his feet is number 4 for the Flames. Huntington is going hard into the boards was Azarian.
And that was a bit of an awkward play there by Liberty.
Another shot. Scott makes a save. He's on his backside. Goes for the spread eagle as he makes the save. Net dislodged.
And they really tried to bowl through Scott there as he was laying down on his back. The official in excellent position. And what I like to call Scott going into the standing dead man, just there, a lifeless body. And he was letting the momentum push him back and push the goal off. But he has kept this a scoreless game in terms of the tallies that the Red Hawks have on the board.
Yeah, 1-0 still your score. Liberty an early goal here in the third period by Sean Bacher. Should mention that's his third goal of the season, first of the tournament for the Liberty Flame. As we have a new center for the Flames on this draw. Another draw is won by the Red Hawks. Their shot was denied in the slot. Back now out to center ice.
And, you're going to see even the complexion of this game change pretty significantly. Liberty is the team that scores next. One thing for Liberty, though, they do have to.
Another try is saved by Scott. That was number 19, Olsen in front. Now Olsen has it again as he tried a shot. It gets up bent. A good check from Roulette. Breaks out now the Flames. Freeman, not a whole lot of support for us. They're just dumping it in the corner. Lay will come out to play. Now it's rung around into the near side boards for Olsen. Olsen holding, looks to chip it up the near side. Ingles will keep it in. One time Dockstetter holds, shot redirected, and Lay able to track it. As the puck on the side of the net, Lay will cover with 13:26 left.
We would like to send a shout out to the new president of the ACHA, Paul Hebert and his son Owen, who unfortunately had to make the trip north to the headwaters of the Hudson River in Albany. And it was great to see you both, and thanks for attending this year Division II National Tournament here in Westchester, United States.
Appreciate them coming down and enjoying some great hockey over the last couple of days.
And they're missing some good games now.
So we're down to the final 3 teams now in the competition. Grand Valley State eliminated earlier today in the first semifinal. Florida Gulf Coast going to the championship game, 3rd year in a row, 4th time in the last 5 years. One of these teams will meet the Eagles tomorrow as the Red Hawks looking to break out the puck to the far side over the stick of Parizek.
Wasn't that an album, Meet the Eagles? I think it was.
I think it was, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe like a greatest hits.
That sounds like something more
On Tuesday, Meet the Eagles. I love it.
Oh, I love it. It's awesome as the puck almost squirts out by Scott as Seddon will steer his man aside. And we'll get an offensive draw for the Red Hawks upcoming here with 12:43 left to go. Rusty, we saw the Flames break the stalemate here. Now for both sides, it kind of amps up a little bit now.
That piece of glass that's across both of the fronts of the nets has been broken by Liberty, and Miami really just trying to see if they can put a crack in the one that is behind the goaltender for Liberty, number 30, Scott, 33, as he has been stellar for them. And really, Liberty is just continuing to gain momentum, and they are happy with the puck being 180 feet away from their zone.
Dower with a wrist shot. It's saved by Scott, but coughs up a rebound. This time he holds on for another big save.
And, one thing for Liberty is they cannot take their foot off that defensive gas pedal. And that also transitioned into offense. As Miami here over the last 90 seconds or so starting to really kind of chew their way back in momentum-wise, as Scott may have taken a ringer off the inside of the leg there, or maybe having an equipment problem as he has gone over and the equipment trainers are there. And actually,
the full pad has come off.
The whole leg pad has actually come off. So I do not know if they are going to have to actually...
some tape maybe I'm seeing from the trainer over there.
I don't know if you can tape that thing on. Holy moly.
I've never seen something quite like this before.
Oh, so he's actually he has a broken skate leg.
The goalie's worst friend right there.
So I don't know if we are going to need to activate Liberty's other goaltender as he is buckling his helmet, and the referee coming over. I mean, this is a legitimate stoppage in play.
Absolutely.
As he's reworking his whole toe strap on those large Brian's leg pads that have been very active, as he is now tying his pad back to the toe of his boot, and the referee's over making sure that he is working ferociously, which he is. And I tell you, nothing worse, than just your whole pad popping off, but probably when he made that stop and fell over backwards, snapped that toe lace, and the assistant coach Morrison now looking over the boards, just saying, do you want to use a half hitch or are you going to go with a square knot? Little Boy Scout experience there. 12:25 left to go in the third period. I'm Rasty McGibbon. Beside me, Matt Coma, one of my buddies that we met last year at Utah, and the masterminds of Ute Vision, which allows you to see this on YouTube for free. And that is one thing. Former Commissioner Mike Radakovich was a huge proponent of allowing you guys and at home and listening in at work or on your mobile device. And I tell you, he gets those pads on quick.
That was very quick for Scott. He makes his way back into the cage for the Liberty Flames.
I am incredibly impressed by that.
It usually takes a while for those goalies to usually get those pads back on, but not for this freshman as he's back in between the pipes. We're back underway here with about 12.5 to go. Dower tried to send one down for Azarian. It was off of his stick over to the far corner now. Teams digging after it. 1-on-2 battle ensues. Azarian able to poke it out of there now to Dower. Sends one off of Scott. He has to quickly cover that one. Another save from the freshman tender for Liberty. He's been outstanding so far today.
He has been red hot, and I will tell you something. Even the goal that Liberty was able to put past Lay, no discredit to him at all. That
Absolutely
was just a very well executed. And I'll tell you, I mean, he has 1 goal on 28 shots. Scott is now, and I'm not going to say the word, but Scott is flawless on 40.
I was going to mention it before because Lay has the lone shutout of this weekend.
Does he?
He has the one shutout that we've seen so far through the various 24 pool games that we've had,
and against a very high-powered
Lindenwood Belleville squad that was picked to win this whole thing by some pundits.
That's what you get for being a pundit.
Exactly. As we're back underway, Flames control this draw as here comes Freeman. 3-on-4 for the Flames. Send one in front. Ingles a shot. It's turned aside by Taylor Lay.
And I'll tell you, he is going to stop what he can see.
As it now comes to the top of the point, Roulette a shot, and it's blocked in front. Takes a bounce to the far side. Another one is denied at the slot. As Miami credit Lay for all the saves he's made. A very active defense for Miami, as well as has blocked a lot of shots today.
Miami defense has been very good. You know, really a couple breakdowns and just the one that happened to cost them. And you know, for Liberty. They still have to play offensively minded because, as you said, Miami with the 8th-ranked offense in the country, but you know, Liberty's got to play a little bit more defensively minded and just keep the puck away from their goaltender Scott.
Kasperzak with a good opportunity.
Already gotten a workout.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one comes in front. That one never made it into Lay's crease. Is another try here. This is going to be dragged down. The Red Hawk down there is raised his hands in protest as we have a little bit of skirmish between both benches as both wanted to call either side as the Flame that was down there kind of pushed the stick away. That is an interference call by the book, but referees say play on turnover. A shot just went wide as that was number 22, Garland in front. Liberty all over the Red Hawks right now as another shot is floated wide. This one finally settled by Miami. They'll have a chance to break it out.
I'll tell you, one thing that I have noticed with Liberty, and I probably can say, there is no team here that is better with board work than I have seen from Liberty. They really do a fantastic job of working the puck along the boards. And probably with that icing very soon, we will have our media timeout.
Won't have it on the icing, unfortunately, as that board play that you have just mentioned led to that icing call.
Face-off is going to come to the glove side of goaltender Scott. Won by Liberty, and they are going to seem to be happy to just attempt to get that puck out, and they do.
Well, it's a mentality we saw from Florida Gulf Coast the last 10 minutes of their contest as well. Everything out of your own defensive end. As another turnover here coming in. Ingles a shot. It's right in the breadbasket of Taylor Lay. He'll hold on, and that'll bring our immediate timeout.
And that was a very nicely executed play by Liberty. Almost a bit of a drop pass into the high slot as Ingles was able to come down and waste one. You may have wanted that a little bit more along the ice, but was able to get it into that Miami logo.
As we now have our final timeout, media-wise, for this second semifinal. We want to thank everybody for watching the ACHA Division II National Championships here live from Iceline in Westchester, Pennsylvania. We'd like to thank our third period sponsors, Pro Stock Hockey, Bauer, USA Hockey, and Barron Championship Rings, the official championship ring supplier of the ACHA. We'd also like to extend a thank you to Westchester Visitors Bureau.
Oh, thank you.
The Iceline Quad Rings.
Thank you.
App Hammer.
Thank you.
And, of course, our broadcast partners from the University of Utah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you,
AJ.
Thank you guys for inviting us out
Who
here.
else to thank?
We also have to thank Josh Hafley. He's been an extraordinarily talented and awesome cameraman all week long. We can't thank him enough for his services. He's been on the camera for both semifinals, and most likely we'll see him again tomorrow as well.
We're going to see him, gloves and all.
Braving the frigid conditions here on Rink 1 here at Iceline.
This is a cold rink. I mean, it doesn't help that it's only 50 degrees outside. And
no.
It's almost, the 1st of April. But
well, we saw snow last night. So
yes, we did.
Here, we've seen all kinds of, we've seen 60-degree weather, we've seen snow. here
We're not talking
in Westchester.
We're not talking about the old rapper from Ontario either.
No. Past the halfway point, Miami still looking for their first goal to try and even this game up as they send one in front. It's just wide of everyone. Now Lehigh will look to walk in front. A backhand, it's loose here on the near side. Cleared out, though, by the Flames. Moving forward now is Ingles. He finally gets steered away at center ice, where it's taken back by the Redhawks. Lehigh to the near side. Olsen's pass off target. Comes back to Liberty. Now a pass up ahead for Garland. Had a great opportunity a moment ago as he fires that shot high off the glass. Flames offside. They'll have to tag up here on the delayed call as Jamie Berger with time now for the Redhawks to skate it up the near side. Gets only to the blue line before he's met by a Flame defenseman. It's Birema here on the near side.
And Liberty is so good along the boards. I think if you're the Miami coach, you know what? You're going to need to get your guys settled down now that the media timeout is gone. You may even need to call it, and they are going to have to play dump and chase hockey. I mean, like, I know that they have been defensively very good this contest.
Here's Spiccola, shot off the blocker of Scott, and we get a whistle.
I think they're going to say it did touch the netting.
Okay. Didn't look like it did, but we have a bad vantage from it.
Well, and it's hard, too, because the background behind it is light, so you really can't see the netting move. As you
Been
look
hearing
up
maybe it hit one of the lights down here as well. Anyway, it hit something, and it's a face-off down low as the Flames won the draw, but right to the Redhawks as a good defensive play by number 9, Dower, able to keep that in for Miami. Stolen away now by Liberty on the far side. Birema tried to clear the zone. He just does. As Shannon now fires a backhand here to the near side.
And I think with about 7:50 left in this third period clock, you're going to see Liberty a lot more complacent to get that puck down. And as we talked about in the Florida Gulf Coast, as that game wore on, one guy forechecking very hard and...
No, waved off by the officials. We thought we were going to get an icing call here. But
well, I mean, here's the thing. We heard the players actually saying ice, 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 but it wasn't the officials.
Here comes Kazmierzak into the zone. Floats one in front. No one there for Liberty to corral it as it comes back to center ice. Roulette, his pass is blocked. Almost a 3-on-1, but Roulette, a good defensive play, keeps it in Liberty's possession.
The line's been doing a good job of keeping it at that hash marks along the far boards.
That too. Bounces going Liberty's way is now here's Miami with a pass here to the near side. Linesman able to dodge that puck as it comes now to Barstead with a shot. Looked for the near post, just missed by inches. Tapped along, 2-on-2 now come the Redhawks. Near side as Parizek a backhanded shot, easily turned aside by Scott. As Liberty off the skate of Barstead, they'll fire a center pass. Bacher upended by two Redhawks as Whitney goes down
and that
here on the near side.
Now we got a couple hurt guys here.
Yeah, two Redhawks as that's Parizek that's down for Miami here.
And we do not see any blood, but he may have gotten cut.
As the trainer will come out.
They have activated the trainer.
As it's the back of his skate that he's looking at is the ankle region.
As those two Miami players collided right along the center ice line. And I'm not a medical trainer, but I think it's safe to say that that's a lower body injury.
I think you're safe with that.
I did take a first aid course, although it be online. But 6:27 left to go in the third
Took
period.
a CPR class a couple years ago.
He did? How'd that go?
It was an interesting experience.
He does not need CPR.
No,
okay.
But if it came to that,
if he does,
yes, we're good.
I'll be your partner.
Yes.
Looks like they are going to.
There is some blood down there on the ice. I can see. Maybe a skate on the back of his ankle there. As he's going to get back, they're going to get him up on his legs, and we'll take him immediately over to the bench, see if they can repair him. As it looks like we'll be all right here.
And it's fantastic to see him go off under his own power, but they are going to work on getting this blood scraped up.
Parizek, 10 goals, 9 assists on the season. Should mention one of the top scorers for this Miami squad. He's been scoreless here in the tournament.
And you know what? Whether you're going home or you're playing tomorrow, you don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that is.
So we get down to crunch time here. 6:27 to go. A face-off in the Miami end. Here on the near side, shots 44-31 in favor of Miami, yet they still trail by 1. Over on that far side, Miami can't keep it in, or can't break it out, and is now weaving through traffic. A shot! Leahy had to check behind him, almost let that sneak through. Able to still make the save.
And he did a great job of pinching that one off as Liberty trying to go up in this one 2-1. And you know, now the pressure that builds on both teams, defensively on Liberty and really on Miami as a whole, because Liberty in the last 10 minutes has done a really good job of cycling and getting that puck with sustained pressure in Miami, but it only takes one shot. If you're a Miami fan, they are one shot away from tying this thing up, and then it is a totally new hockey game. But Liberty, you know, I would say if there was a board work category, there is no team that is any better here than Liberty at board work, as they have done a fantastic job.
This one takes a bounce on net to Scott. Miami does get an offensive draw on it out of this, but Scott yet another save.
And I'll tell you, Scott just demonstrating incredible confidence there in his face-off guys, as he is willing for them to set it up 20 feet away from him. And Liberty taking another face-off there.
Almost bounced it right to Azarian as he had a chance to fire one towards the net. Instead it comes to Lehigh looking to redirect it with Spiccola. Fortunately couldn't redirect it on frame. Now the Flames will send it back into the Miami zone. We're down to 5.5 left here in the semifinal. Dower across the ice, has Azarian walking in, fires a shot, it's deflected wide. Back down low for Azarian, has Spiccola in front, pinballs around just wide of Scott. Rung hard around here to the near side. Berger can't get to it in time. Good speed on that far side. Oh, but they blow it dead on the icing. As that looked like Ingles had that beat.
And the linesman did give him an explanation there. But Ingles, I don't know.
It looked like he beat it to me, but linesman has a better view than we do up here. So icing is the call on Liberty. Another offensive draw here with 5:15 left.
Yeah, if I were Chris Lowe's, he's over talking to the linesman there. Not too happy with that call. Has a great effort there. Liberty skating, and you know, from our vantage point, we're high, but we're a long ways away. Seem to make it down, and Liberty happy just chipping that one up and out. And I'll tell you, if you are a Liberty Flames fan, every precious second that chips off the clock right now is just one closer. 1 second closer to punching your ticket for tomorrow.
The Flames can hold on. It would set up a great showdown between them and Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow.
And this is, but this Miami team has weathered the storm, and they actually now going to throw out both guys out of that face-off circle.
As the Redhawks able to win the draw, the shot takes a deflection from Whitney's stick out of play. We'll reset again here on the near circle now with 5:06 left.
Shots are 45-32 unofficially in favor of Miami.
They've been all over Scott. He's just been a mainstay in the net for Liberty so far here today, as he was able to steer that shot aside. Now it's up the far boards. Liberty, priority number one, as we said, get the puck out of the defensive zone. As they were able to for a moment, now it's back in their possession. They'll chip it high off the glass. This is icing again. Ingles going to try and beat it. This time he won't win that race as we come down to 4:44 left.
And you are going to see, you know, Liberty is a fast team, and I think if you were to compare every skater, Liberty probably a little bit faster than Miami. Miami defensively in the early parts of this game, as we see Scott also making some more adjustments to his leg pads again.
It's the same one, too.
It is the same one. And he is just trying to get everything tucked in, that glove back in that large catching mitt and in position.
As we wait
drop
for
the
a
puck.
face-off.
Come on,
here.
drop the puck.
We're going to get a new center for Liberty. Third straight face-off. We've had someone thrown out. Now Miami's going to get thrown out.
Drop the puck. Goodness sakes.
As we finally get the puck drop now, Freeman back behind that, turns it over, sends one in front, shot, save Scott.
And I thought almost Scott had lost his stick there, but for Liberty, you're going to see Miami putting a lot of pressure on.
Turnover, here's another chance. Walsh goes top shelf, no try, score! Miami breaks in past Scott, we're tied at 1.
And really, ever since that icing was called, Miami has had sustained pressure, and almost really with 4:24 left, desperation by these Red Hawks. And now this is anybody's game as Liberty.
So it'll be Robert Norton that gets the goal for the Red Hawks. It's his first of the tournament, 13th of the season.
And you see the coach over there just calming everybody down.
Now everything to play for. We're back to a tie hockey game for the first time since about 2 minutes into the third period. So both goaltenders playing the games of their lives now have both given up 1. As now the next goal will most likely decide who moves on. As it sends all the way down, this is icing again on Liberty with 3:59 left to go as the clock winds down.
Yeah, and definitely, Miami now with some momentum behind them. For Liberty, you really got to try very hard to gain that red line and throw it down. For Miami, you can welcome these opportunities to run a set play off the face-off, 160 feet or so from your goaltender. And this is an ideal situation for Miami as they're going to get to set it up every time in the Liberty zone. One thing, as I've said, Liberty very good along board work, but Miami early on causing them some problems on the breakout.
Now on the far side, Azarian for Spicola. Try to go back to him. It's loose in the feet of a defender. Comes in front. Head! Azarian near side, but unfortunately couldn't pull it to his stick. Now here comes Liberty. Burama with a shot. Just went wide. Miami with the momentum right now as Spicola plays it. Quick pass here to the near side. Dower. Rest of the Red Hawks change. Dower will do the same as he sends it into the Liberty zone. Whitney from the top of the point. Glove down by Scott. And held on with 3:17 to go.
And that's good sportsmanship. You see number 12 of Miami come in and give Scott a little tap on the chest as he stayed down in that butterfly position after catching that puck. But good job by Miami. They drove that puck in very hard and wrapped it all the way around the boards, almost over in front of the Liberty bench. And by the time they were able to change, a new crew came out and picked up that dump in.
Chance for the Red Hawks off the draw was denied. Ingles will tap it along. Now up ahead is Freeman. He gets upended. Good check from Romanski. Now the Red Hawks the other way. Over on the far side, Schultz. Tries one in front. Stolen away by Ingles. He'll skate it ahead. Leaves it for Freeman. Taps it right back to Ingles. Over to the far side. And as Dockstetter had to just send it along because he was met by 2 members in red. Under 3 minutes now to go here in the semifinal, tied at 1. This will be icing, but it's on net. So nullifies the icing call. Gives the opportunity for both teams to make changes as it comes up the near side. Bacher has the goal for Liberty in this contest. We've seen 1 goal apiece here in the third. Now walking in is Norton. He had the goal for Miami. And it's now weaving through, upended, but no call given. And it's a late call. They do call very late after the play. They do give the tripping call to Miami.
Chris Lowe's is just incensed that the back referee is going to come up and make that call.
And it's going to be number 4 for the Flames, Daniel Huntington. He's going to go sit for 2 minutes here with 2:18 left. A huge opportunity here for Miami to try and steal this one.
And I tell you, I will say something. That was a late call. That call came at least.
There was a couple of seconds.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 seconds there off to the offense. If you're a Red Hawk fan, absolutely what you need. You're going to play a huge majority of the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds on the man advantage.
The Liberty will need to kill off the full 2 minutes, so only 18 seconds will remain if they're successful. As the Red Hawks go to work. Berger, backdoor, has a man. Shot, saved by Scott, sprawling down to make that save. As that was Walsh kind of turned around with that shot, didn't get much on it.
I will tell you something, though. Human nature is such that when there's a call that's a little bit questionable, if there's something else that's questionable that comes along, they will give an equalizer.
Their makeup call could be coming.
And you do not want to start that.
As we're back underway, D Lehigh to Berger. He'll just tap it in the corner. Azarian leaves it for Dower. He tied up by Miller back behind the net. Backhands a pass. Top of the point, Lehigh near side gets it right back, but off his stick, and the Redhawks unable to keep it in the zone.
And if you're a Liberty fan, really the biggest...
Big hit back behind here on the play. As a high stick goes by the wayside there. Sidney almost took one to the face. As now Azarian's shot is saved by Scott. Rebound try is saved as well.
And I'll tell you, Liberty's biggest opponent right now is at minute 12 up on the penalty clock. And really, you know, if you're talking about calls, there are a couple there. Chris Lowe's over making the high stick, and he's going to come down and talk to the official.
Brief conversation with the official there. 17-second difference here.
It's pretty one-sided.
Yeah, very
very one-sided. Yeah, but we see Scott making some
another adjustment.
Another adjustment.
As we get ready again, 17-second difference between the penalty and the game clock. As the Redhawks win the draw again. Here near side, Whitney, top of the point. One time had a man on the back door looking for Walsh. Went wide. Another try. That one saved by Scott to the corner. Now Spicola. Tied up in the corner, 2 Flames down there, 3 Redhawks. Down to the final minute 10 here is walking out of the corner, Romanski. Stolen away by the Flames. This one will be called. As now another penalty, as you said. One usually breeds another when it comes to the late stages here. 1:02 left. We'll play 4-on-4 for pretty much the rest of the way.
And I tell you something, I think that 4-on-4 actually favors Liberty, and then you're going to have about $1.15 of man advantage, and that is going to give you about a minute of man advantage starting this overtime period. And that is going to be a full rested line, as we are going to get an ice cut should this continue on.
Yeah, we still have 62 seconds
yes,
to play.
Yes, we do. 62 seconds. Face-off is going to come now, and that really is huge for Liberty, as they were pinned in their own zone there for about all minute and 15 of the power play thus far.
Redhawks on the attack again as Whitney dodges a check. He'll bring it around the boards. We're down to the final 45 seconds. We're 4-on-4 for 25 more. Flames will get a power play here as the period concludes, unless the Redhawks can answer here. Another center pass, top of the point. Berger a shot that's wide. As we get the net dislodged on the far side, a stick goes flying as well. Don't know who the stick belongs to. Looks like that's Scott's stick. That went by.
That's that large goal paddle that really just went careening out of his right hand and almost made it over to the corner where the goal line sends the boards in the far corner. Face-off is going to come inside the Liberty zone. 14 seconds left on 4-on-4.
As the Liberty Flames get a crucial win on the draw, as Dockstetter far side sends one for Ingles that's poked away. Another diving poke check, that time from Walsh. Back to center ice. Penalty time over for the Flames. 5-on-4 the rest of the period. 14 seconds left in it. Dockstetter trying to send the Flames to the title game before the horn sounds. It's poked away. Now comes in front, but between 2 Flames and goes all the way down. This will do it. As 2 seconds, 1. The horn sounds. 60 minutes. Not enough here to decide this one. Liberty and Miami heading to overtime with a spot in the championship on the line.
And that is not a place that is unknown to either team. Both of them going through overtime. This is, I don't know, we can ask David Kurtz there beside us just to outline briefly the overtime format.
Yeah, NHL, so he just tells the NHL, so it'll be 5-on-5, 20 minutes to
So
go
3
up
on
on the
3.
board.
3 on 3.
3 on 3,
NHL.
yes, absolutely.
Oh, NHL playoff. Okay.
So 20 minutes will go up on the board. We'll take a break. We'll send it over to the William Patterson trio in just a moment. Here as we just break down what's going to happen. We'll have a 20-minute overtime period. It's Sunday.
A very exciting play has just been.
You had the time. Overtime hockey just seems to find us. But the big story here is the goaltending. The freshman Blake Scott, doing an outstanding job of keeping Liberty in this game. The shots are 52-32 in favor of the Redhawks. Scott making 51 saves, 21 of them coming in the third period. Then on the other side, Taylor Lay, who's been nothing but spectacular for Miami the whole way, stopping 31 of the 32 shots he's faced in this game, stopping 8 of 9 in the period.
And again, 60 minutes not resolving it. Both of these teams, Sean, played yesterday overtime games. Both were 5-4 games. This one a little bit lower scoring because of the netminders.
You got to be kidding me with this third period. When you thought that it couldn't get any better, then this third period happened, and it just blew the second period out of the water, just completely. And now, but wait, there's more. You got, both these teams once again are going to overtime. It's literally you're getting into the reserve tanks at this point, and it's just the simple message: we need to get one, and then we're on to tomorrow for the national title.
Well, before we get to tomorrow, we got this one today, and unlike in group play where it's a 10-minute period, and then if it was tied, it was tied. It's NHL style. They put 20 minutes up on the clock. It'll be next goal wins. It could be one overtime. There could be two. There could be three. So, Andrew, I'll ask you first as we're getting ready to look at this. What's the mentality going into overtime?
If you're Liberty, you go back to the tape yesterday and you say, we threw everything at them for 2 minutes and we got a goal. You just got to keep doing that. Miami's a little bit different. They had to wait until the last minute of overtime to get the game-winning goal. So if you're Miami, you got to kind of just hunker down and weather the storm for the first couple minutes, I think, and then you can attack. They had their big guy, Parizek, had to leave the ice. Thankfully, he was getting ready to come back, so we might see him for overtime. That's an interesting storyline there. But if you're Miami, weather the storm in the first 2 or 3 minutes and then attack with everything you've got because you've beaten this goalie once and you know you can do it again.
So if Parizek does come back, that will be definitely something of interest. Sean, this is something, though, that these teams have played overtime yesterday. They're going to play it again today. There's still going to be 1:07 of power play time. Is that something that might carry into the momentum of the period, whether or not it gets killed off, or I should say if it gets killed off? Is that something that will build into the momentum of the period?
Oh, absolutely. Liberty going to be in the same exact situation that they were in yesterday, shooting on this side of the ice right here to our left. Yeah. We saw that yesterday. They got a bounce off of those back boards that was able to get them the victory to get to this point. Using that knowledge and the fact that they have a power play coming into this overtime period, I expect to see some type of idea of using those exact same boards to try to get the exact same result.
6 shots on goal after the first period for Miami. 44 in the last two, 22 in each period, Andrew. That's a lot of shots that Liberty is allowing in the second and third periods.
Absolutely. Liberty, we said it that they were kind of a defensive team that's let up a lot of shots. I think at this point the defense is pretty much out the window because they know they've got a good goalie in the back there. So they're kind of going to keep Miami to the outside and force those low percentage shots, and they're going to use those chances. You saw a lot of counterattack with the shots going wide and Scott making those saves, and Liberty quickly turning and going back up the ice to go back at Miami.
Sean, on the other end, just 9 shots for Liberty in that third period, but some of these saves made were of the spectacular variety for Taylor Lay.
Absolutely. Again, Bob, it's been the Taylor Lay / Blake Scott show at this rink. 32 shots on Taylor Lay for the game. He's only allowed 1, and it was on a fantastic backhand pass across the back door for Sean Backer, who was able to get it past Taylor Lay. Just a slam dunk, really. That's been really the only way you had to make a perfect pass, and that's what Liberty did. And then you see it again with Miami on the other end to be Blake Scott. It's once again, it's all about making the perfect play or getting that perfect tip. And, it's just being able to get the aggression, being able to crash as well as you can to be able to get that past either of these two goaltenders. We're going to see if that's going to happen once again in this overtime period. And if we can figure that out, we're going to get ourselves another finalist here.
It's going to be a spectacular finish either way. The winner's going to get Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow at noon right back here in this building, which is a little chilly right now. So we're going to take a time out here. We'll get everybody warmed up. When we come back, we'll get you set for overtime. Our score after the end of 3 periods of play, it is Miami 1 and Liberty won. You are watching the ACHA Division II National Championships right here on Utah Hockey Network and YouTube. All right, back here as we're getting ready for overtime. Brett Luthner, Andrew Shapiro, Sean Bretherick. We're going to cut. This is normally going to be a Bucci overtime challenge, a Rasty overtime challenge, a Kurtzy overtime challenge. Heck, we'll even throw Coleman in there. Bretherick, your picks first.
You know what? I like a story. So if in fact he does come back, Joey Perizic, and you know what? If he comes back for Miami, I'd like that. I'd like to see that. And Peter Kazmierczak for Liberty. I'm glad I actually got that right on there.
All right, well, I'm taking the man who had a hat trick yesterday and carried Miami into the semis today. Ethan Whitney's got a game-winning goal in the season already. For Liberty, I'm taking Devin Dockstetter. 34 goals in the season, 9 of the game-winning variety. So I think he's my guy.
I'm going to go on Miami. I'm going to go with Andrew Dower from Miami. And for Liberty, I'll go, let's go with Jordan. Yeah, we'll go with that instead. I'll go with Ben Freeman if it's Liberty. Those are our picks up here. Now it's time to send it to the boys calling overtime. Gentlemen, take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll hear from them as we conclude our thoughts here. The Rasty Overtime Challenge, I think that's the most fitting name for it.
I'm going to go with Ingles for Liberty, a man that's been speedy so far, and I am going to go with Dower for Miami of Ohio. And before we do get ready to face off, Matt, I'll let you have your picks, and then I'm just going to tell you quickly about the academic All-Americans that are playing in this contest.
All right, well, I guess if everybody else is playing along, I'll play too. I'm going to go with number 17, Tim Spicola, leading scorer for the Miami Redhawks in the regular season. For the Flames, I'm going to go with Freeman. He's been a solid guy. I think he'll get it done for the Flames. Go back to you, Russ.
Academic All-Americans, 3.2 average for Miami. James Berger, Andrew Dower, Matthew Walsh, Benjamin Ranowski, William Perizak, and Robert Norton. And Liberty, I will give you in just a minute.
As we're underway here for overtime. Next goal wins it. We play 20-minute periods until we've got a winner. Miami on the kill here to start as it's 5-on-4. Flames looking for a pass in front. Good block from Berger as it comes back to Dockstetter. A shot. It's blocked in front. Clear into the corner. Berger hard around the glass, and he'll clear. So
for Liberty Flames, it's Blair Bennett, Daniel Huntington, Paul Ingalls, Christian Garland, and Ryan Kerr. Academic All-Americans. Well done, boys.
Congrats, everybody. Under 30 seconds left here in the power play before we're back to 5-on-5 as Emma will just send it back behind. Garland battles with Lehigh. They tangle up. Puck takes a shot off the referee, and that clears it out. Now on a shorthanded opportunity. Walsh on the near side. Scott makes the save and covers up.
And Scott actually getting tied up with the stick of the Miami player. And I'll tell you, sometimes the best kill is taking the puck all the way the other way. And there is half of a second left.
I think that's 5 seconds.
Oh, is it 5? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 5. So I think there's 5 seconds left here in the penalty.
And again, Liberty, in my opinion, I'm kind of a simple guy. A little bit fancy on that power play, but now we're going to be back to 5-on-5.
Oh, big hit right out of the box as that's number 26, Romanski. Right place, right time for the Redhawks. Liberty still able to advance it as Lay makes a save, and we're back to 5-on-5 with 18:50 left.
And, you know, we heard Chris Lowe's at the conclusion of that second intermission saying that he liked the way his team looked 5-on-5. And, you know, both of these teams understand the implications of overtime, having been in overtime instances just less than 24 hours ago, and both of them advancing to be here today.
Both teams won in overtime yesterday. Took Miami a little bit longer than Liberty did to win their 5-4 overtime game yesterday.
And probably one of the most interesting goals of this tournament.
Absolutely. As it came, it takes a funny bounce out in front. Scott forced to make a save. As that careened off the near boards here, where the Zam usually enters out. We've had a couple of those bounces all weekend long.
Yeah, we've had some weird ones, and I don't remember the game on day 2 as it was being dumped in and shot right out in front of the net. And then we've had some very odd bounces off of those stanchions in between the 3/4 inch thick pieces of glass that protect man from puck in the ends.
Miami won the draw, but they won it past their defenseman as Liberty was able to gain the zone. Shannon sends one in front. No one could get a stick on it. Now top of this point, Huntington's shot is blocked to the far side. Picked up by Miami, tried to chip up the boards. It was denied on that far side. Sprawling to his feet, Dockstetter as he cut that one off. Now it's to the top of the point, Shannon. Back down low off the skate of Frenzel. He battles with Dockstetter down in the far corner. Dockstetter able to keep control as he sends one in front. Score! Dockstetter sends the Flames to the final!
And really a jam play that we have seen so many times in this contest. And the goaltender Lay has been there every time. But again, just taking slightly over 2 minutes, and the Liberty Flames have punched their ticket to go on another day.
Dockstetter's 37th of the year, third of the tournament, the biggest of maybe his college career, as the Flames will take on the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles in the championship game tomorrow.
And I will tell you something, really Lay, you can see him out just getting a lot of consoling by his teammates, but no reason at all to hang his head as he stopped 33 out of 35 shots. And, really for Dockstetter, fantastic effort. And, I've said throughout this contest that there is no better team that I have seen in this tournament than Liberty University on their board work. And really the hard work in keeping that puck in, it was pinched in back in at the point, and Dockstetter stripping the man, working very hard behind the net, and he came out on this near side and was able to do a wraparound and get it through the legs of Lay, and they have punched their ticket for a Southeast showdown tomorrow.
It'll be the number 1 versus number 2 seeds out of the Southeast region. The two auto bids will meet here at noon tomorrow, high noon, here on Rink 1 in Westchester, Pennsylvania. The Florida Gulf Coast Eagles and the Liberty Flames, your 2016 Division II National Championship game.
And I will tell you something, if you are a Miami fan, you cannot be any prouder than these young men that are going through the line in red sweaters. They played incredibly hard, and I tell you, if it was not for one man named Blake Scott, this would have been a much different contest. He has been sizzling hot, and he made 53 saves in this contest. And I will tell you something, it is very hard if you are a Miami fan to swallow this pill, as they worked very hard. And for Chris Lowe's and Mike Morrison, the coaches of Liberty, they are going to have to get their guys focused. Liberty has met Florida Gulf Coast 4 times this year, and they have been the victor 3 out of those 4 times, and so they cannot be too confident coming in. A very offensive and team that is hitting on all 8 cylinders.
All right, 53 saves, as Rasty mentioned, for Jake Scott. He's standing by downstairs with Dave Kurtz.
All right, I'm here with Blake Scott, winning goaltender for Liberty, and Blake, congratulations.
Thank you. I was hoping the boys were getting it early, We were being outshot all game. I was just hoping we would capitalize on the power play, but we got it a little bit later. That's all that matters.
Talk to me about this game. Early on, first period ends. I think it's like a 12, 13 to 9. Shots, aren't coming that much. Look at the final score total: 54 shots for Miami, 35 for you guys. Upwards of 90 shots. You start up 53 of 54. What's going on in your mind as the game gets deeper and deeper and the shots just keep ringing up on you?
Oh, in the beginning, I was itching for that first shot, and it took forever. But as soon as they got going, they didn't let off the gas pedal, and they kept coming for the rest of the game. So I'm ready to go tomorrow.
Talk to me just a minute about games getting late. That puck sneaks in, suddenly it's 1-1. How do you guys regroup as you have to you were close to the end, and then suddenly it was tied, and they were really coming there at the end?
It's a whole new game. You just got to shake it off and pretend it's a whole other game,
All right. How fast did you skate out of that net after that goal was?
I could. I don't know if I could skate any faster than I was, but I was trying.
All right. Well, go celebrate with your teammates. You got FGC tomorrow. You played against them. Are you excited to face them again for the national championship?
Yeah, they're in the Southeast region, so they're our rivals, and we're ready to go.
All right. Well, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Up to the WPU guys, Brett and Sean and Andrew. Quite a barn burner we've had here today. We're looking forward to some more tomorrow.
What a game here today. 2-1 in overtime. Devin Dockstetter's 37th goal of the season. His 11th game-winning goal. Second consecutive, because he had the overtime winner against William Patterson yesterday. Wraps it up there for Liberty. Brett Luthner, Andrew Shapiro, Sean Brederick. Quickly, your thoughts. Andrew, you first.
That was an amazing game, and if you're Miami of Ohio, you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. You put everything on the line. That late goal to tie it, all the momentum on your side going into overtime until those couple of penalties at the end, and they did a great job, even in overtime, getting a couple shots on goal. And great showing by the Red Hawks, not just in this game, but in this tournament as a whole. So good job to them for Liberty. Great game by them. They got a tough task tomorrow, but they've proven that they can hang with anybody. So
Sean, quickly.
Devin Dockstetter knows when to score those goals, and that's in clutch situations. Now Liberty's setting up for a matchup between Florida Gulf Coast, where the last 4 times they've won 3 out of 4.
And that's all this
matchups.
And that's all this season. We get it set up tomorrow real quickly. It's a noon start. Florida Gulf Coast, the Eagles will take on the Liberty Flames for the 5th and final time this season. What are we looking forward to, boys? Sean, you first.
It's going to be an interesting thing. We know that it's very hard to beat a team that you face all year long 4 times. It'll be interesting to see how Florida Gulf Coast adjusts to Liberty coming up for tomorrow. And of course, the bigger question, of course, is going to be, what the goaltending matchup's going to be.
I was just about to say that the goaltending controversy that is brewing. Mike Reed has started the last 2 championship games for Florida Gulf Coast. He's been yanked in both. Does Bob Brinkworth go back to Reed, or does he put Tyler Tracy in? And on the other side, who does Liberty start after this great game by Blake Scott, after riding their starting goaltenders all the way through, including Blair Bennett yesterday?
Yeah, Blair Bennett got the overtime win yesterday. Blake Scott here today. It's getting set up. There's all sorts of storylines to go into this one. Final score here, 2-1. Liberty wins in overtime. They advance to the national championship game. That's it from our side. We throw it back across the way to Matt and Rasty for final thoughts.
All right, thank you, boys. We appreciate it. Matt and Rasty back here on the other side. And Rasty, final thoughts here on just an incredible game between these 2 Southeast region opponents and what should be a great championship game tomorrow.
Well, it's always having coached before. It's always it's a bittersweet ending. You're very grateful to be playing still in March. And in this national tournament, but I saw the long faces of Grand Valley State as they were getting ready to get on the bus and head back to Grand Rapids. And there can be only one champion. And the trio of guys across there do bring up a fantastic point in goaltending controversies, and I really think there are on both ends. Reed has played well, and do you go with 3rd time's the charm and give them the start in this national tournament? And for Liberty, they have 2 solid guys, and you could probably put one at either end, put one in a Florida Gulf jersey, and you would really have yourself a contest. Scott was just incredible, and I will tell you one thing: if you're a Miami of Ohio fan and you are still listening, a lot to be proud of. And I tell you, if they can keep some of those guys, their goaltending was fantastic. Their defense was fantastic, and really they ran into a sizzler in Blake Scott today, who just really shut the door, and they were able to get one by. So it's hard to pick a favorite, and going on statistics, Liberty's beaten them 3 times, but they make a good point. It's hard to beat a team 4 times, and really, you have to talk your guys into thinking that tomorrow is a brand new day and a brand new contest, and the Florida Gulf that you have seen throughout the regular season is not the same Florida Gulf that is here in Westchester, nor is Liberty the same team either.
So it all comes down to day 5 tomorrow afternoon. Florida Gulf Coast and Liberty University, the 2 finalists. They'll finish top 2 in the final rankings. We'll see who gets to take the trophy home tomorrow.
And I have been working on polishing that puppy up, and it will give you sunburn. It is so shiny.
One of these schools will walk away with that trophy tomorrow afternoon. We thank everyone for joining us for today's broadcast. For everyone here with the ACHA and part of this broadcast, for Rhett, Sean, and Andrew on the other side, for Dave Kurtz handling interviews downstairs, for Rasty McGibbon, I'm Matt Cohen with Josh Hafley, our awesome cameraman downstairs helping us out. This is Matt Cohen signing off from Westchester, Pennsylvania. The Liberty Flames beat the Miami of Ohio Redhawks 2-1 in overtime. So Florida Gulf Coast against Liberty tomorrow in the championship game. This is Matt Cohen signing off. We'll see you for Championship Tuesday tomorrow afternoon.